best for nothing.
Yeah, I've really been on YouTube, so no one saw my cat walk across the screen.
No, but nobody heard the cat scream either, so it all worked out fine. All right, so we are now live on YouTube. My fault, my apology. Thoughts, Leslie Lacey, Ed Davis, anybody else that's out there in radio land, YouTube land, social media land. Is Notre Dame, the school, the players, and anybody else that you want to blame acting like a 4-year-old kid?
Yes, they are.
Or
you started out 0-2, buddy. You started out 0-2, and you play those tough. You schedule those really tough games in the get-go. Here's my problem with Notre Dame. Now, I'm a USC alum. They're one of our big rivals, but I do like Notre Dame because who can't like the movie Rudy? Okay, it's one of the greatest all-time sports movie. Period.
I'll tell you who doesn't like the movie Rudy.
Who?
The players. I'm serious. I've talked to players that were on that team.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to that later. That's good pop culture. I want to hear about that. But I gotta say, listen, I don't like the whole independent football thing. Who are you to be independent in all these leagues? You gotta. To me, I just don't like that.
Notre Dame is only independent with football. Everything else, they're in a conference.
I know.
They're not in a football conference, and you know why, right? The $15 to $20 million they make.
I want them to be in a football conference.
Well, a lot of people want, except for the president and everybody at Notre Dame, because they don't want to split the money.
Well, I mean, it creates issues. I just think that I just think they should. You want to play, you got to play. You got to play.
You got to pay to play. Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead, Ed.
I was going to say, if I could speak to Notre Dame, I would say, quit your whining, shut up, here's your free T-shirt, I'll go home. Who's the only college football team in America that gets their game broadcast every week, no matter how much they stink? Every week, they're always on NBC. It's like
I'll tell you one.
Cowboys.
I'll tell you one. The Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, every week, we're stuck watching them.
No. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed they were not on TV. They were not here locally.
They're not always on, Randy. They're not always on.
No, they're not. Not lately, anyway.
No, not lately. A few years ago, yeah. I give you that a few years ago, but not so much. And, well, first of all, they stink. But a lot of people, and we're all, if you're over, say, 40, you're typically a Dolphin fan, secondly, because your parents watch them before the Bucs.
Hold on. Don't say out loud they stink, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go down to Miami in 3 weeks. So when you say they stink and then they go down there and the Bucs lose to the Dolphins, if they lose to the Dolphins.
I can't imagine.
Let's be careful.
The Dolphins are not. But you know what? Look at the Saints, guys. I mean, the Saints have won 2 games. But we have a difficult time with the Saints historically, and they're interdivisional. So if we lose the Dolphins,
let's go back to Notre Dame. Let's go back on loading up on them. Okay. I think the NCAA should do something about it. They can't, but what I do see happening is if it's a questionable next year or the year after, they're going to get hosed again. And I'm not saying they got hosed this time because they didn't deserve to be in there. Everybody, and now here's where, Ed, you're a football guy. Victory Wednesday coming up, hopefully in the next 2-3 minutes. I understand which team is playing better right now. Obviously, Notre Dame is playing better right now than both Miami and Alabama. The problem is Alabama might have done, and then we would be ripping them next year. If next year Alabama is eligible, they win the conference, and they refuse to go play in the conference championship. Because that's what teams would have done, and I'm sure they thought about that when they were in the room as well. You can't penalize Alabama for losing in the championship game when Notre Dame sits at home and just gets their $20 million and then wants to play in the playoffs.
I'd agree with that.
I'd agree with that, too. You don't have an argument here. But how about that, Randy? We both agree with you.
If I had a mic, I'd drop it.
I wonder what Street Matt Nat would say.
He'd say, would you like your beer with foam or without? As he's working the tap. I don't understand how people don't have problems. All right, you guys talk among yourselves. Let me resend the link to Mansour. Why don't we do this? Let's hit a break early. Let's hit this break early. I'll try to get a hold of Mansour. I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay.
This is
Hey, this is Bernie Williams from the Yankees, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Say goodbye to outdated equipment and welcome the latest smart technology into your home. With Cool Breeze AC, you can effortlessly control the temperature and create the perfect environment from anywhere at any time. Call Cool Breeze today at 727-954-3605.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Hey, this is Cecil Fielder from Detroit, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back. We're still trying to figure this out. I don't understand. Sometimes the link works for people, and sometimes it doesn't. It's crazy. So I sent the link back to Mansour. I think he's just going to call in, Ed. So be prepared for that. And then I won't be able to look him in the eye and apologize.
Oh, goodness. So do we have any issues here about, who's going to the college championships? We were all in agree that Notre Dame is a baby and has no business being in there, especially with my opinion starting off 0-2. But are we anybody else have any beef with the other rankings?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. By the way, I just want to say I love the whole idea of the playoff system versus the bowls and having it. I've been talking about doing this exact thing for pretty much my entire life, that they would do this. I really have. I mean, sometimes I think they might have heard me on the radio and taken my idea, about several years ago and started to implement it, because it you can still have the bowls, but you still have the playoff system. The only thing I don't like is I really don't like the players getting all this money, because I just feel like it's unearned. But I can't do anything about that now. It's a whole different world now. But it's more interesting. Playoffs are more interesting.
Who do you guys see playing for the championship?
Oh,
I know Indiana made a lot of people believers.
Yeah, they have a bye. Yeah, that was shocking.
Well, I know they have a bye. The top four have a bye. I'm just saying make the finals. I mean, I thought Ohio State would have walked right through them. They made believers out of me.
I don't know if Illinois got the best of Ohio State. I don't know if Illinois got the best from Ohio State. I really don't. I think Ohio State takes it in the end.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and say, I think it's going to be Texas Tech. And I'm not saying that because I'm dating someone from the Fort Worth
from
area.
Texas. That means you got to wear that cowboy hat again.
Oh man. Tell you what, that's not, you know what? I gotta say that was starting to look pretty good. That cowboy, I was getting used to it, you know.
In whose opinion?
Nice
Yours, right?
big belt buckle now, and it's a whole lifestyle over there in the Fort Worth area.
Now, does the hat make up for for bad hair day? But you don't have to do the hair. That just because some men do, just slap a hat on.
That's right. But first of all, guys never have bad hair days, Ed. Let me just
when my hair gets too long and I don't like it, I'll put a hat on. That's the only time you'll ever see me with a hat on.
What hair? What hair are you talking?
Let me look. It is coming back. Okay, it is coming back with a vengeance. Because now I'm shaving like every other day now. I went like a week with the chemo. I went like a week without having to shave, but now it's really coming back. So
that's good. It'll come by here. It comes back healthier too.
Yeah, I'd like a darker color too. Maybe a little curl, something.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. My friend Wendy, you might remember Wendy Brown. I don't know. Wendy Chopkis, Wendy Brown. She was a radio person for a long time, but she went through cancer and came out with flying colors, but lost all her hair, and it came back thicker, richer, a little red and curly. So it's kind of a cool thing, I mean, it's kind of odd how that happens, but she ended up getting curly hair out of it. Who knew? Chemo brought curly hair.
Well, and it takes all your hair off too.
Yeah.
I mean, I manscaped completely.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't felt that smooth down there since the last time I put my hand in my diaper.
Oh gosh, yeah. Things are looking bigger, aren't they?
Normally we could blame this all on Matt, but he's
not
here.
I know. Guys, I gotta take over for him somehow, I gotta take over for him somehow.
Are we still waiting on your guest, or?
Yeah, I'm still trying to I'm talking to him. Mike Straka just used the link.
Yeah.
That he said wasn't working. So
I look forward to hearing from Mike. Have we heard the latest on was he in Denver? I looked at his profile. He was wearing like a toboggan and playing Christmas music, and he looked like he was really cold on Facebook. So I wondered if he was out in the Colorado area. We never know where that guy is at any given time. He travels around so much.
No, he was just walking somewhere.
Okay. He was just walking somewhere.
Well, you could have saw him. I asked him to use the link, and he logged in. Now I tried the link, and it's not working.
Okay.
I don't know. The StreamYard thing is not going. It's changing a lot of thoughts right now. So
yeah. Technical. Well,
I'm going to just send him the number.
I mean, if you have one link, just forward it to everybody.
Well, that's what I did.
Okay.
I sent the same link to everybody. You're in.
Okay, try my link that you sent me, forward the link you sent me to him.
Well, that's what
if that works.
Yeah.
So I have a question. How low do you think the playoff ratings and the Super Bowl ratings are going to go now that the Chiefs are likely not going to be in the playoffs? I mean, it's still mathematically possible, but they're playing so bad. Travis Kelce admitting it on his podcast.
You mean, he talked to somebody? Oh, he's such a baby. My God. He walked out. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He said he throws his helmet. Oh, what a child.
Oh, come on. Do you feel that way about Tom Brady?
I didn't see Tom Brady doing that.
Oh, Tom Brady did that stuff all the time. He was famous for it, Ed. He wouldn't even go up sometimes he was so upset after a loss. He wouldn't even go up and do the handshakes to the other opposing quarterbacks many times because he was just so pissy. Now, I love Tom Brady, so I don't care. I don't care that Travis did that either. I don't care. I think it just shows that they hate losing. It was like Hope Solo back in the day on the women's team. She got a lot of flack. The woman hated losing, so let her be. Let Travis be. Let Tom be. Let him go mope. That's fine. It just means that they care so much about the game, but he's not playing well. He dropped a crazy good pass at his level, but what I'm saying is I don't think the ratings are going to be there without Miss Tay in the stands. I really don't. I think we're going to have a lull in ratings if the Chiefs do not make the playoffs. That's how big the Swiftie population is, and especially if they don't make the Super Bowl. I just don't see it.
Well, I think what team gets in there that's not expected to, like say Buffalo, everybody would want to see Buffalo do it. So
Bears men, sir. All right, so I hate modern technology. As much as I thought this was cool, this whole video, the whole StreamYard, the whole everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Did you watch any of the UFC last week? You didn't have a minute 7 to spare? It's Victory Wednesday. Let's welcome to the program, even with technical difficulties, our buddy Mansour. Mansour, how are you?
Hey!
I'm absolutely amazing.
Can I get the scream? Can I get the woo like you gave Joe Rogan?
I wish I could scream that loud. I'm in like a work pod right now, so it's pretty disturbing to everybody else.
Okay, so I did a little tease at the beginning of the show. First and foremost, I apologize. The StreamYard, I don't know what's going on. It's working for some. It's not for you.
No problem at all.
Just don't punch your phone, in less than a minute, because this isn't working. I want to publicly apologize to you. It's bothered me since you were on last week. Nobody knows about this other than my wife. I teased the beginning of the show that I am going to change something that I have said for an extremely long time because of our conversation last week.
Okay.
I brought up something, politically correct. I'm not very correct, and sometimes I'm not even political. So I've always said fight week and Saturday is like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody celebrates Christmas.
Yes.
And I'm Jewish. I don't celebrate Christmas either, but I've always said it's like Christmas. After talking to you, I am not going to call it Christmas on Saturday anymore. I'm going to come up with something else. I said to my wife, I'm going to say it's like your birthday. And then she said, there's some people that don't celebrate birthdays. So I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe I'll just call it New Year's Day because everybody celebrates New Year's Day.
Yeah, something. Saturday is always a good day in general, so why change it?
Exactly. So I'm going to go with that moving forward. But speaking of celebrate, how did you celebrate after sweating you didn't sweat the whole minute and 9, 7, 8, 10 seconds?
Honestly, I'm still trying to figure that out. I have not celebrated one bit. After the fight, I got 2 slices of pizza, talked to my manager a little bit, and I just went to sleep. I've been haggling through all these different interviews, but I have not celebrated whatsoever.
When do you think you'll have time, and what do you think you'll do when that time comes?
That's a good question. I gotta figure out something to do. I mean, I guess like the normal thing is just to go eat some food with some people that you hold close to you. But who knows, man? I don't even know if I will celebrate. In my mind, I have a very one-track mind. I got the job done. Thank God. Now we move on to the next thing. Like there's really no point or a desire to celebration within inside of me. That's with anything. I don't really like to celebrate anything, but I think this deserves a bit of a celebration, somewhat.
Yeah, at the very least, I think you should celebrate for 69 seconds because that was your standing choke.
Yeah, maybe we'll celebrate for a little bit over a minute, and then we'll just call it a day.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of fighters. As you know, I've covered the UFC since UFC 1, and everybody says, I don't do this, I don't do that, and I believe that you're not going to overlook. But how is it hard not to? We talked last week, a minute 9, 42, 67. How is it not? To think about that every fight, because I'm sure you didn't think about it going into the fight on Saturday, and then just over a minute later, you're talking to Joe Rogan. How are you going to block that out moving forward?
I'm just a special type of man. I truly believe in my heart. I'm just different from the masses. Success doesn't motivate me. It doesn't inspire me. negative things and sad moments and hardship don't motivate me either. I'm somewhere in the middle. It's like nothing motivates me except for the enjoyment of the present moment. So I can't really think about anything in the future. I can't be motivated by quick wins or quick finishes or any of that. I'm not even disappointed or motivated in a good way by the negative stuff that has happened. I'm literally somewhere in the middle, and I can't even put a word on it or really truly describe that feeling. So I'm just in the moment. I'm in the
So
moment.
that's very Buddhist, to believe it or not, of you.
I definitely think so. I definitely think so. I'm just like, I am very, very special in the way that I'm just feeling good all the time, doing what I enjoy. So if I do what I enjoy, then everything is going to go well, regardless of a result or anything like that. But in terms of overlooking an opponent, or in terms of looking past opponents or any of that, I think in my mind, me showing respect to my opponent is training hard enough for the challenge to come. So in my actions, I'm respecting my opponent. In my actions, I'm not overlooking them. In my actions, I'm being diligent within my daily routine, within my training sessions, within my diet to prepare myself for this fight that's upcoming. And that's where the respect starts and ends. It doesn't need to be any more or less than that.
I know you said that you're not driven by money, but how do you bottle that up to sell all of this to make the money that you're not motivated by?
Money's good. Money's very good, but I'm not motivated. I know it's a good thing. I know that it's something that can help me in my future, help my family's future. So it's beneficial in that regard. But I swear I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. And then the more people get to know about me and the more people get to know about my story, I sort of sell myself because of the contents within my own heart. And I'm very, very, very grateful for that because I have a very colorful soul, I guess. I seem to be very interesting, but yeah, I'm just very blessed in the way that I am who I am for whatever past experiences of my childhood or the love for this or whatever. I'm just intriguing in that regard.
All right, so let me ask you this, and I know Leslie has a couple things to ask you as well. I think I've told you I don't do a lot of research. I like to just talk to, when our celebrity athlete comes on and we get to know each other and we take it from there. What's the story? What do I not know that maybe a lot of fans do, but maybe some fans don't know? You said that it's your story. What is that story?
My story is one of being a little prodigy, to be honest. I've been molded for this and crafted for this. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not someone that dipped into other sports, that wanted to do other things. I had a one-track mind. I was always focused on this from my earliest memories. The very first thing I ever did before anything was like the little tumbling classes or whatever, the little baby gymnastics when I was 3 years old. That was, of course, that was really, really short-lived and everything. But other than that, it's been martial arts. It's been being in the gi. It's been jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, judo. It's been rolling on the mat. It's been taekwondo. When I got to middle school and high school, it was wrestling. When I got to college, it was wrestling. And then school was involved. So it takes a lot more of your mental space. And then I saw people doing the things that I wanted to do and knowing that my heart was still stuck on that. Even when I was in wrestling practice in college, even when I was in class and in lectures with hundreds of other people, I was not even there. I was living my dream inside of my mind. But now, thank God, I'm living it in reality.
That's incredible. It takes it takes most people a very, very long time in life to get to where they can be present. And I would say it's wonderful and it's very fortunate that it seems like you've kind of honed in on that and you know what that is in life. With that being said, and your ability to be so present and to have that gratitude and appreciation for the moment, how does it differ when you lose versus when you
He doesn't
win?
know. He hasn't lost.
Well, ooh, I know. I know. And in wrestling and in life and in my childhood, I have lost many times.
That's what I'm referring to life.
Yeah. You cannot get to this level of knowing yourself without setbacks and without losses and without heartache on a consistent basis to the point where you almost lose hope, but then something within you just wants to stay on the path for a little bit longer. Just hold on a little bit longer, and all of a sudden, the sun shines, and all of a sudden, there's this externally perceived idea of success. For me, there's no success and there's no failure unless you die. And then even if you die, in my mind, it's still going to be all right. So I'm just literally rolling along in life. I'm just very, very, very happy, and I'm very grateful. And I want to express my gratitude as much as I possibly can, because like you said before, very, very few people are able to have an ability to be present. Even when they're working on being present, they're not present because they're trying to be focused on being present.
Yeah.
But with me, it's the opposite thing. You can't take me out of this. You can't pull me away from it. You can have me do one thing, and in my mind, I'm training. In my mind, I'm working out. In my mind, I'm visualizing and feeling the good things that I want to think about in my future. I'm imagining the smells. I'm imagining how it feels to touch a gold belt. I'm imagining what it feels to wrap up gloves and to have these things on my hand and to throw punches in a warm up. You can't take me out of that mind frame ever. So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do that. And I know that it's really like a rare skill. I don't know how I have it. I don't know why I have it. I just know that I enjoy it.
I know I want to make sure I word this, as short, but, as positive as possible. Joe made a comment about you're the future. You are one of the future. I'm going to take that to the next level. You're not just the future, in the ring, in the cage, in the sport. You're the future of the future. Back in the day, we would always fight trying to push the sport that we love. And what did everybody call mixed martial arts early, before you were even born? Cockfighting, thugs. Yep. It's people that just doing this. And, we had to try to prove that's not the case. And just your conversation proves that you can be a calm, soft-spoken, up-and-coming, awesome person that we're getting to know. You can go in there and do a vicious sport play. I hate calling it a sport because it's more than that. And I think you are the future. Like I said, I know it came out. I think it came out pretty cool. Not just the future of the sport, but you are the future of the future. People need to look up to you, and I'm sure that if they haven't already, they're going to start just by the way your demeanor, how you hold yourself, how you talk about not only your sport. One of the first things you said, if it wasn't after the woo, about your dad and how much you love your dad and all that. And I loved hearing that. With me not having my dad anymore, and I miss him every day, that relationship of a son, of a parent, with their child or children is so important.
That means a lot. That means so much to me coming from you. And I'm very, very, very grateful to be in the positions for people even to look at the duality that I have. I think that it's very, very, very important, more than being a champion, to be known for good manners, to be known for essentially being a gentleman. Inside of there, I'm absolutely vicious. I have a look in my eye where it's nothing, and I'm just ready to wipe out any man in front of me. But then outside of it, as soon as that ends, it's compassion, it's being kind, it's showing respect, it's approaching people with softness and being gentle. It's a beautiful thing to have that type of energy about you where you can just split yourself into two, but not being fake, not doing it in a fake way, but doing it genuinely doing that. We all feel the same things. We all feel the same emotions. I just know how to dip into those emotions and use them in a constructive way. And in terms of people looking up to me, I'm not sure about that, because I can say some dumb stuff and I can act in some ways that are very, very, very selfish.
That makes you human.
Yeah.
But that just makes you human.
It does. It's just I just know that that I wouldn't want to inspire someone to do something that's wrong. And then honestly, I do a lot of stuff that's wrong. I swear I'm very, 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 very flawed. My life is just being highlighted in this sport and in this way where it's beneficial. But I can say dumb stuff and I can be selfish. Even when I'm being alone, I do a lot of stuff that's specific to me without apologizing to people. I can justify so many things when I'm training and being alone and just being standoffish. And it's not really something that I would advocate for younger fans and viewers. But with that being said, if they're inspired by my actions and if they're inspired by the good things that I do and they're inspired by the way that I speak and articulate myself and train and treat others, whatever, then that's beautiful. because that's something that I would want to look at and view myself if I was younger and I was looking at a fighter like me. Look at the good things, use the good things. If you see the bad things, pray for me, please.
I think you should go on Cameo. You know what Cameo is?
I've heard about it before. Can you explain a little bit to me?
No, Cameo is like a video where people and I'm not saying do it for the money because I'm not saying that, but that's what Cameo is. And there's a lot of superstars and celebrities and whatever, just to give quotes and stuff. Because I was going to say I need like a quote or a text once a week from you with one of your quotes just to make me a better person, just to get me through that week. If you could do that on Cameo and people could go in or on a website or I guess Instagram, I'm still too old to know about all that stuff. I need to be motivated by some of your words on a weekly basis.
I love that idea, Cameo.
Yeah. A lot of fans, there's fans that just want to come in and watch, people, pummeling each other, right? You have the violence of it, but then, you also have the fans like me, like I like to get behind a person, even in football. I was a Dolphin fan, but I love Tom Brady. I like the way he leads his life. And I think when you've got people that will be behind you for who you are, because you're doing you. I mean, you could say, talk about your childhood and how you thought and you still think the same way in many ways. And you're kind of trying to reach, I'm going to say fighting enlightenment. That's what I'm going to call this. Okay. But I think it's really good when you've got an opportunity to reach people, not just by what you do, but how you live your life. And I think that's what really brings in longevity with legacies and with memories of people. It's who you are as a person, not just what you did, in the ring.
And back to it real quick, because I know we're almost at the top of the hour. Diamond Dallas Page, you're probably too young to know the WWE, WCW wrestler. Diamond Dallas Page started DDP Yoga. You ought to go give that a try. Anytime you want to go have a session with Page in Atlanta, let me know and I'll set it up. But he just does it on Facebook. He'll do these words and motivational things, and maybe just do that and let me know how we can follow and get involved. And because people need to hear more of what you're talking about and how you're saying it. Because I'm a better person right now than I was 32 minutes ago. Which is 30 minutes, longer than, you spent in your last fight.
Listen, with all that being said, and it's beautiful, but you can quote me on this. I could say these beautiful things. I could say these carefully articulated things, but I promise you, the only thing that I know is that I know nothing. I'm not sure exactly where that quote comes from. I heard it before, but that's the truth. Outside of myself, outside of MMA and martial arts and strength conditioning, a little bit of nutrition, and maybe some psychology and philosophy, I don't know anything. I don't claim to be this super, super intelligent person or this super smart person that knows everything about everything and that knows the key to life. I swear I don't know anything. I just know a few things, stuff within my realm. But I just know a certain amount of things that specifically pertain to me. And I'm just getting those things highlighted, and very, very grateful that they're highlighted.
Man, sir, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Stay in touch. Be a regular on the show. We would really like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for your time. This means a lot to me.
Take care. We'll talk to you again real soon. Good, dude. All right, top of the hour. Let's hit a break. We'll be right back.
This is Lynn Swan, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. We'll hear shortly from Federal Reserve policymakers on interest rates. CBS's Christopher Cruz says a quarter-point cut is anticipated.
If the central bank does what the analysts expect, it would bring rates to their lowest level in almost 3 years. The Fed governors will be making their decision without some key government data because of the government shutdown.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to stop deploying California National Guard troops in Los Angeles. That deployment began back in June. And immigration activists in New Orleans are protesting against ICE and Border Patrol agents and the new federal crackdown there. CBS's Katie Weiss.
They're calling the CBP's actions dehumanizing. In fact, one state senator who spoke today called it a racist agenda action that is doing nothing other than disturbing hardworking people and their families.
A federal judge has ruled secret grand jury transcripts from Jeffrey Epstein's 2019 sex trafficking case can be made public. It follows the law Congress passed calling for the release of all the Epstein files. CBS News congressional reporter Torian Small says votes on health care are planned in the Senate despite deep divisions, with Democrats looking to extend Obamacare subsidies and Republicans backing health savings accounts.
This was a big gamble for moderate Democrats in supporting reopening the government. They got this assurance from Leader Thune that he would send it to the 4-4 vote. But including this, what many Republicans are calling a side-by-side legislation and getting this health savings account proposal through as well, could ultimately tank both of those bills.
Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado's daughter accepted the Nobel Peace Prize on her mother's behalf today. Reading a speech, her mom wrote,
"First of all, on behalf of the Venezuelan people, once again, I want to thank the Norwegian Nobel Committee for this immense recognition to the fight of our people."
Writer Sophie Kinsella, known for her rom-com Confessions of a Shopaholic, has died at 55, complications from brain cancer. Next year's Met Gala fundraiser starting to take shape as we hear from CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Beyonce, who hails from Houston, will co-chair the starry event at New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art May 4th. Venus Williams, Nicole Kidman, and Vogue editor Anna Wintour will host too. The 2026 theme, celebrating the dressed body as it appears in art through the centuries.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is up 216 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This is Lomas Brown, and you're talking sports with Randy, the Monster Jam Man.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas County. Leslie in a dungeon somewhere. Where are you at?
I'm in my office now. Can't you see my Wonder Woman stuff behind me? That's my first pitch. I threw that out the Rays Red Sox game.
It's too dark. You need one of these lights. I just bought these lights that you're supposed to put, which brightens up, and so I can see. Yeah, no, we can't see any of it. It's a little dark in the location that you're hiding at.
Oh, it is. I even have one of these. I have one of these professional lights too. So maybe I just need to brighten it up a little bit.
Is that the professional police protection, or is because it's so dark and it's? Or are you like that gloomy person? Do you just like it dark and gloomy?
No, I'm not that at all. There is no window that shows in light in here though. So I don't like that. No, I'm one of these people who, if I would prefer to have almost the entire house of windows, made of windows. So the light would come in the morning. I like a lot of light. I'm one of those. I'm your yellow person, like sunshine. What are you, Randy? Gray?
Yes.
How did I know that? I wonder what color Matt is. If there was another color
Yellow.
on the rainbow that we don't know about, Matt would be that
is
color.
yellow. Is yellow on the rainbow?
Yes, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Those are your Roy G. Biv rainbow colors, your spectrum colors.
All right, he's
Of course,
yellow.
Yellow's a primary color.
Yellow. He's yellow. That's him.
Matt is
Yeah.
not yellow.
Yeah, he's yellow. That's its color.
Matt is, there's I forgot what it's called, but some people, I'm kind of going to go off on a little tangent. I'm going to be Matt for a second. When you listen to music, they see colors. Tori Amos is one of those people. She was a child prodigy at like 9. She's incredible. I think she got kicked out of some major school that was, I don't know if it was Yale or what it was, but she's like this brilliant musician, Tori Amos. And when she actually saw a color that is not on our spectrum, one time she said it was the most amazing thing she's ever seen in her life. And she doesn't know how to explain it or call it because it's a new color that we have not seen. Can you imagine that? That'd be pretty cool.
What's the color?
It's not, you and I haven't seen it. She sees colors. There's a word for this. I have to look it up. But people see colors when they hear music. They actually see colors. Their brain sees colors. And she saw a color that we can't even imagine because we only know the colors that we know, and mixing them together can create, offsets of those primary colors. She has seen a completely new color. Tori Amos, look it up.
So she can't describe what the color is. It's a light purple and a dark green combined.
No, it's because it's new. Imagine if we didn't have green.
So she could name it. Is she going to name the color?
I don't know. That's a great question.
She
should. She should call it the Tori color.
Yeah.
Or the Amos color. But imagine if we had never seen green, or if you're colorblind, usually you have problems with reds. Reds or browns, it depends. It can all look the same. So then you see, like, we know what red is, but someone who's colorblind doesn't know what it is. It looks like something else. So it would be like them seeing red for the first time. They've never seen it. Well, we've never seen her color that she saw.
All right, we're going to continue talking about this weekend's UFC. Let's welcome back to the program. He's been on a few times, Neil Magny. Neil, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. So a couple of days ago, I was opening up a UFC box of trading cards. And do you open the cards? Have you looked at the cards? Are you a trading card guy?
Yeah, I do get a couple of boxes per year, mainly for Simpsons, that kind of thing. But I do get to check them out pretty often throughout the year.
And when I open them, I opened a box at the Super Bowl with a Paige Van Sant. She gets the pack, and the best card in the entire box is in her pack. So I've decided I'm opening the whole box myself. I'm sitting watching a UFC. I open the box and guaranteed a autograph in every box. And I was pretty excited. It was before I knew my schedule of guests this week. It was your autograph card.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I meant to bring it. I was going to show it to you. I'll text you a photo or whatever. What's it like and I know you guys have had trading cards now for a long time. I've been involved in the UFC since day one. Seeing things like this is a huge step, obviously. What's it like when you get those box of cards, not for you to keep, but to sign them, to send them back so that us fans and media can chase these things?
I mean, honestly, when we get them, when you get the signature, you'll get literally like 1,000 cards to sign at once. And at first, oh, cool, the package is here. But the best part is just to see how far those cards get and how far those cards reach. Like, I had fans reach out to me from the Philippines, all over Europe, all over the Caribbean, where it's like, oh, look, I opened up a pack of cards and I got your card. So like receiving the card myself to sign it is one thing, but like getting to follow up on like Instagram or Twitter where someone opens up a pack of cards and they're telling me how excited they were that my card was in there, or you see them actually frame it. That's when it actually means something to me. That's when it's actually super special. It's like, wow, like the work that I put in over the years, someone actually values and appreciates, and it's something that they can actually hold on to as like a memory for what I did in the cage.
I'm in a couple of those Facebook, pages, and one is trading cards, UFC cards. So I posted the photo, and if I told you, and I can't because I don't remember the exact number, how many people said, "Is that for sale? Is it for trade? What do you want for it? Oh, I need that. I want that." It's got to be cool, no matter what level you're on. That's got to be cool that people want to obtain your autograph and card.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I was literally just watching a video earlier today about the guys that like go to the events and like, they're waiting around for signatures and that kind of thing. So I guess that'll be another level of excitement for some of the people who don't have the means of like traveling across the country to go to a UFC event and hopefully meet one of their fighters there, where they can like purchase a card at their local store and then like open it up in anticipation, like, oh, who's Carmen to get today? And then have it be one of their actual favorite fighters that they do appreciate. I think that's pretty cool.
No, definitely. Do you collect anything like that?
Honestly, I like giving them away. Like even like my fight stuff. For a while, I used to collect it. Like I want to keep all my gloves. I want to keep all my hand wraps, my shorts, my back in UFC when we had banners. I wanted to keep them all. And after a while, they started just accumulating in my house where like I had to create more and more space to put all the stuff I was collecting from the fights. For me now, like I just love giving it away. Like it was cool the other day to take my kids to the gym, and as we're walking past, they look up and they see a banner or a plaque in the gym for my UFC debut, and it had like my debut glove, my debut shorts, a photo of my debut fight or whatever. And then my kids like, oh look, daddy. So like I think the appreciation of like someone who's gonna kind of like value that stuff and put it on the wall is far greater than it like sitting in the collection in my room somewhere, my house somewhere.
Oh, no, definitely. And before I let Leslie ask her question, I do have an empty space over here in my studio. So just saying, something could hang right here in the corner. Just saying.
Yeah, send me an address. I'll give my email and text message. Send me an address. I'll definitely send something out for you for sure.
Okay, I definitely will. Thanks. God bless.
I just wondered where the nickname Dynamo came from.
Dynamo for me?
Yeah.
I don't have a Dynamo nickname.
Leslie just nicknamed you that. That's your new nickname, I guess.
That's right. I got to give you something, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Neil, let me ask you this. What could Neil Magny today tell Neil Magny back in February 20th of 2013? What piece of advice would you give yourself, 12 years ago?
Man, I honestly don't think I'll do anything different. Like I from day one till now, I always stay consistent and I always took advantage of every opportunity that came my way. So going that route, I don't think I would do anything different necessarily, or say, hey, do this instead of that, or avoid this instead of this kind of thing. I think more so it would kind of be like just where I'm at going into fight. So like because of my go-to attitude, I'm just kind of like, yeah, anyone, anytime, any place, I'm just willing to fight kind of thing. It's very hard for me to say no, even when the odds may not be my favorite. And that doesn't necessarily mean like the odds as far as like my opponent being the favorite or whatever, but more so like the odds as far as like what's taking place in my life, where like fighting through injuries, fighting through illness, fighting through all these different things. If there was one thing I would do different, I would take those injuries and illnesses a little bit more serious and kind of give them the proper attention they deserve, as opposed to trying to power through every single thing that came my way.
Is it the same feeling fight week today as it was? And let's don't say your first UFC fight, your third UFC fight. Is it the same feeling? Is it the same anxieties? Is it, or is it different, 12 years in?
I think 12 years in, the stakes are higher, and then the chances of making mistakes are even higher as well. Like going into this fight, for example, it was very crucial that I stayed ahead of a lot of the media attention that was coming my way and some of the questions that may be asked. I mean, in recent fights, we kind of seen how things went with the guys transferred over from Bellator to UFC, and some of the success that some of them may have had or may not have had. So knowing that was the thing that some people may ask me, that was the thing going into the fight, I had to like kind of keep that same pressure or anticipation that I had in earlier fights, where it's like less about my opponent and more about me, more about what I'm trying to prove, as opposed to like, oh yeah, you're fighting a former world champ. How do you feel? You're having a chance to face another Bellator guy. How do you feel? Like I let all that stuff kind of fall to the wayside and still have the same joy and excitement that I had 13 years ago in my debut.
So as you're getting that joy as you're walking Saturday into the cage, what's going through your mind, even though it's 4 days from now? And tell us your thoughts on your opponent.
Man, the first thing goes, thank God I could do this yet again kind of thing. That's always first and foremost, just like being in that moment of gratitude for what I'm able to do, what I get to do. And then, excuse me, leading up to it, going to the opponent, man, it's a great opponent. It's the kind of opponent that keeps you motivated throughout training camp, keeps you motivated throughout fight week, and lets you know you have a tough task ahead of you. So knowing that I have that kind of opponent on Saturday night, it definitely forces me to kind of be on my A game, so to speak. So I'm more than excited to go in there Saturday night and prove to the world that I'm one of the best welterweights out there.
God bless.
Don't be getting sick on us now, though.
Yeah. I'm really stuck in my throat. I'm like, what is going on here? But no, I should be 100% healthy, good to go for this fight.
Is there any key differences that you've learned just being a veteran over so many years about how you approach a fight now versus how you approached it when you were first starting out?
The biggest thing for me now compared to early on is that recovery. I feel like early on I felt like I needed to do a lot more in order to feel confident and ready for the fight. Where now I have to be more efficient and be ready for the fight. I mean, back when I first got to see at 24, 25, I literally lived out of the gym. I was there all day long to the point that the coach was like, hey man, go home. You've been here too long. Go do something else. Where now, because of life itself, like I'm balancing so many different roles, so many different hats that like the time that I do spend in the gym, it has to be like precise and like right to the point or whatever. I don't have time to necessarily waste doing things that aren't going to bring me the results that I'm chasing, kind of thing. So with the amount of efficiency that I'm turning at now, I feel like that's a better way of doing it compared to when I first started out, where I was just doing like a bunch of volume work, but not anything that was necessarily intentional.
Final question for you. How will you get through the next couple days?
Oh man, right now is focused on the weight cut a little bit, chugging a bunch of water for the water load, and then start the hard part tomorrow evening, going into the cut for Friday morning. But the next 7 days, it's like leading with gratitude. I mean, I get to be here in Vegas. I get to do this again for the 37th time now. So leading with gratitude and appreciating every step of the way, even the quote unquote miserable part of cutting weight. Looking forward to that part as well.
One of my favorite things, and I just told Monsieur this as well, I've covered the UFC since day one, before UFC 1, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, we were fighting all these stereotypes, the cockfighting this, and it's this, and it's that. One of the things I love, I'm talking to a MMA fighter and you're smiling and you're laughing and, you know, you're having a good time and you're enjoying it. And the world needs to know that. And they have. They've learned that over the 30 plus years. But as a guy that's covered this from day one, I want to thank you for your demeanor and everything in these interviews from the past and right now. It really means a lot to me as media and me as a fan.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Enjoy the week. If you can, I'm going to put you back in the chat room if you're able to get into that, and send me your address because I want to send you a care package of my thank you gifts that I like to send as well.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to remove that. Hopefully it stays there. If you're able to see that, if not, I'll get a hold of Nobby. But right there, there's a studio chat. I see that you're in there. If you can just send me your address, and then I can touch base with you later. All right, let's go hit a quick break. Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio. You see that?
Sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial.
Neil, oh, there you see. All right, I see it. Perfect. Yeah, if you can just send me your address, I want to send you a package, and then I'll send you mine as well.
Okay, awesome. Do it right now.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great stuff.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Depending on who you ask, yeah. That's the old German over here, the ex-wife, and I'm the biggest turd in the world.
All right, perfect.
Phone medical. So when are you going to be back?
I have media at 12:15, so I'll be back like 1-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Neil, I got your address. Perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right,
Okay.
have a good one.
You see mine?
Okay. 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 813-282-4000.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fia with Remax Realty Unlimited. 813-494-4873. For 29 years, I've had the honor of helping families across Tampa Bay find their perfect homes. As a national ranked award-winning agent, I pride myself on having the best customer service and deep local knowledge. Whether you're buying and selling in Tampa Bay, I'll guide you every step of the way. Jennifer Fio, 813-494-4873. Let's make your next move your best move.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Don King, and I'm listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris. Join me. Don't touch that dial. We got something in store for you.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Staff Zone and 8 Man Strong. Good dude right there. He's been on a few times, and I keep saying with this early dementia, which I really truly believe I am starting to get because I'm so forgetful of things. I wanted to bring the card. Just like last week, I wanted to show that I did get this card and how cool it was. And, sometimes you forget, and I opened this box that Ryan Westner gave me from Rhino Cards, and you're searching for that autograph card. You don't know whose card. It's kind of like that's the search. And I opened it up. I'm like, holy crap, he's been on the show a couple of times. He's so cool. He's been around in the UFC so long. 37th fight, he just said.
Crazy,
not
huh?
UFC-wise, I don't think. I think that's how many total fights he has, which is still a lot.
Yeah.
If you go back 30-some years ago when the UFC first started and to think
I'm
that...
not even alive 37 years ago.
Okay, well, go back 31 years. You're older than that.
I just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
I'm paying attention, but you never correct anybody. Like
That's
it's funny.
true. You never say no in radio.
I have always said I'm 29, always.
Yeah.
And I went for a job interview after I was 29, and somebody asked me my age, and I had to stop to think. I had to because I've always said 29 so long. So I was talking to my daughter not too long ago, and because it was my birthday not too long ago, and she said, "How old are you now?" And I said 29. She goes, "Well, that's pretty difficult since I'm 31."
Exactly. You did be checking the DNA on that one.
Well, the DNA is in the Petri dish. I know
How
that
is married life for your daughter now?
No, it's good. It's
Exactly
just
the same, right? Except a piece of paper has been signed. That's what they
which
say.
to me is so silly. The two silliest things of life: getting married, because it's just you're paying to do something that you don't need to do. I know a lot of people that have been together forever; they're not married.
Well, you don't need to get married and pay until you need to get divorced. Then you needed to have gotten married.
Well,
if you know what I mean. Like, know what I mean? I'm not married, but I do want to marry one day, and provided that, they don't take away the right for gays and lesbians to get married with this administration. Hopefully, maybe I still will be able to. But I think really marriage, it's more of a contract. I mean, it wasn't even about love back in the days.
Sure. No, it is a contract.
But, before it was arranged, and it was about an institution. And so, it's money involved. It's all kinds of other things. So that's why it's important to have that contract, because then you're giving up your life and, your money that you're making, everything, you're putting it into one unit, the both of you. So
Well, I got a big surprise. Ironically, it was on my birthday when I got the surprise. But the second thing, and then I'm going to talk about the surprise, financial contract, all that kind of stuff, is having a wedding. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. I just went to my nephew's wedding. I don't know how much that wedding costs, but I can imagine. And it's stupid.
It is ridiculous to spend so much. Here's the thing. You can get a venue. You can pay for a venue, Randy, at a location and not say it's a wedding. And it can be a third the price. But as soon as you put the word wedding down there, they upcharge you. Yeah. There's so much greed in this world. I have friends who have gone out on the beach and got married on the beach. And then that's what they do it. And
my son got married at the beach.
Yeah. And even that can be pricey if you have it connected to a hotel, even though, it's public land there on the beach. But it is a ridiculous thing. I think you can have weddings, at your home, at places you love, and the reception's different.
No reception.
Oh, come on.
No.
You have the wedding and then you get to go play and party with everyone at a reception.
At the house. You go back to the house.
You are bah humbug.
That's where my son's reception was, at the house.
Okay, so at least he had one. It was at the house. So everybody could come over if it's big enough to provide everybody who wanted to come over to come over.
How much did your wedding cost, Ed?
Mine was in the Virgin Islands. So yeah. So
did you fly down there?
I had friends fly down, but I picked up the dinner and stuff. So I think it was probably between the room and everything and all the amenities about $8,000. But I agree that the reception's where they get you, really. Because, it's the entertainment, whether you can have a band or a DJ. Now, a friend of mine, she had karaoke. That's the entertainment. And I had to leave. I was like, I'm not staying for karaoke. That was awful.
Ed, were you living in the Virgin Islands or did everyone?
No, I grew up on St. Croix as a kid. And I go down there every year and I wanted to do that.
Wow.
Down there. So, yeah.
So you had friends down there?
No.
Once they got off the plane, they were there.
No, actually, we couple of us flew down like on Thursday. The rest came down on Saturday morning and spent 3 days down there and then flew back.
I've been to St. Croix. I loved it, but unfortunately, I was there right after Hurricane Maria.
Yeah.
So the week after, so I was covering it for WFLA at the time, and Fredericksburg was hit so hard.
Frederick said, yeah.
Yeah, Frederick said, thank you. I said, very
yeah,
much.
I always stay at Carambola, which is on the north side. It's where the final scene of Trading Places was filmed. And ironically, if you've watched Shawshank Redemption, the final scene where they're on the beach and he's scrubbing the boat down and red comes, that was filmed at Sandy Point in St. Croix, not Mexico.
Wow, that's
in
cool. That's cool. I love that they have deals with the film commissions down there. I wonder if it's cheaper.
It depends. It really does. If they want the seclusion of some spots, yeah. There was quite a few other spots on the island that were filmed for Shawshank.
Was the boat still there?
No.
Is he still working on the boat?
They should have the boat there. It would have been a tourist attraction. Shawshank's a legend in film.
Yeah, I usually go to that spot, draw a circle, and take a picture of me standing there. So
draw a circle.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's only like 50,000 people that live in St. Croix. People don't realize how small of a place it is, but it's an American territory. So it's a very, very cool place, and the people are wonderful there.
Yeah, it's 8 miles wide by 26 long.
Yeah.
So
should go do Survivor there.
It's not like that, but I always rent a Jeep. You can go on one side of the island where it looks like desert conditions and there's just a lot of nothing. There's beaches on both sides, and then there's a rainforest on the other side of the island. So
yeah,
best of both worlds. But yeah, after Maria, they really, the only thing worse than Maria was Hugo. Yeah, Hugo basically flattened them.
Yeah,
and then, And it was 2 to 3 years, 3 years maybe. It took them to get over Maria.
There's still the crazy thing about Maria is that the schools, like I said, there's not a lot of people that live on that island, but the schools were taken out, the churches were taken out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even the more poor areas, it's kind of, there's rich areas are poor. There's not a lot of little bit of a middle class, but Christensen versus Frederickson is a big difference, right? And they had to send the kids to America. So they had to shift the kids back to families and people and actually leave the island so the kids could go to school because the schools were just in complete rubble.
Well, I went to the same school as Tim Duncan did when he lived down there as a kid. Remember
Tim
the NBA?
Duncan.
Tim Duncan from the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
Basketball player.
Okay,
That's a basketball team, Leslie.
I hate basketball. Yeah.
And as you leave the airport, to get to the airport, actually, there's a big billboard that says St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, home of Tim Duncan. And one year I made a banner up, put underneath, said, and Big Ed.
Did you really?
Yeah. So friends of mine said it lasted a couple of weeks, and then they either fell down or they took it down. One or the other.
I was going to ask, how long did it stay up?
Yeah, they said a couple of weeks.
Well, that's better than a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I did? This is funny. This is terrible. At my high school,
I'll be the
Hendersonville High School, the very last day, I was like a jokester in high school, shockingly so. I was up for like Wittiest and Most Talented and all that kind of stuff. Was lucky enough to win Most Talented. I don't know how, with all the great singers coming out of Hendersonville. We all know.
Name one good singer to come out of Hendersonville.
Well, there is this one woman who's done kind of well that went to my high school, Hendersonville.
She going to change her name? You think she'll change her name, or is she going to leave it?
She leave it. She might do a hyphen. I don't know. She's very romantic. Can anyone guess who I'm talking about here? Miss Romantic.
Yeah, Dolly Parton.
Songwriter of all time.
Dolly Parton.
Ed, keep going. Close.
Dolly
Dolly's
Parton.
about 4 hours to the east.
Oh, I thought you meant
greatest
the
songwriter
Swiftie.
currently now. Broken Beatles records. Greatest songwriter of all time. Ed, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Taylor Swift.
I just said Swiftie.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I said Swiftie, and you go, keep going.
Leslie, sometimes it's a pretty good show. You should tune in.
I couldn't hear. Anyhow, so for the last day of school, Ed, I kind of pulled what you did. I went out there and I wouldn't say I was a screw up. I mean, I did well, but I had ADD and I was in all the plays and I was in all the, creative stuff. And I got, I passed of everything C's and B's, but I didn't go to school a lot because I had ADD and I was so bored. I would leave and come back, but I was smart. So I was able to still pass my classes. But so for the last day, I went up there and there was a guy changing the big billboard outside the school that might say, HHS, and it says something, like a student council meeting, or this is when I'm graduating. I had him change the letters and I had him put up Leslie Lacey, like valedictorian or something like that. And he did it. And it was up there for it was so funny, you guys, because I was like the furthest thing away from there. And it maybe lasted about 30 minutes until probably one of the teachers or one of the principals, saw it and took it down. But that was my moment of BS glory. That was a lot of fun coming out of high school. Except you're really from St. Croix, so yours was true, but mine was not.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
UFC, we haven't talked about this. At least I haven't talked to you about it, Leslie. And I don't know if it matters to you because you probably don't watch the UFC. But the UFC pay-per-view is now over. No more pay-per-views with the UFC. And I'm not as excited about that as I am an earlier start time. Effective January, when they join Paramount, they now go an hour earlier, which gives me another hour to watch the UFC before I fall asleep.
I'm going to be watching more UFC now that
because it's on Paramount.
That's exactly right. And that's really the only reason where don't get me wrong. I mean, Randy, you've known me for a long time. When you were first doing this, I had conversations with you that this is going to be around forever. It's going to push out boxing. 25 years ago, when you were one of the very first ones to really cover UFC and mixed martial arts before anybody was doing it. I love it. I love to watch it. I used to watch it late night when it was on regular TV and it was cage fighting. I was addicted to it. I watched it all the time, a long, long time ago. But now, once it became a pay, I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend all that money to see it. Now that it's on Paramount, I have Paramount Plus. I don't mind paying $10 and I get all of this, mixed martial arts. I love it. I think it's a great idea.
The question the question that everybody's waiting for is, will Paramount raise its prices? I mean, they're going to have to. They paid billions of dollars for the next X amount of years.
Yeah, they put ads and stuff now. Look
I
at
understand.
Netflix. Everybody's putting ads in things. Maybe they'll raise it if you don't want to have ads. But right now I have Paramount, I have Netflix, and I have, don't giggle, but I have the Great Courses.
What's that?
Great Courses? Haven't
Yeah.
you seen that app? It's every kind of course, like intellectual course or science course that you could watch. And,
I thought it was golf courses.
No, they're courses like meteorology or something like it's something you're interested in, anthropology, and you can watch a full college course.
Really?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Medieval ages, they're lectures.
I don't know what would take me longer, finding that app or finding something that interests me enough to get the app to watch it.
There's everything. You know what? You know who else I bet has it? StreetMatNat. Because there's so much on neurology and like brain chemistry and things like that. I watch it all the time. It's my favorite app.
Matt wouldn't go on it to watch. All of Matt's ideas are on it. He does all that stuff, right?
You're right.
Because he's the
would say-
PhD in whatever.
You're right. He would want to be one of the people who's lecturing, on traumatic brain injuries or neuroplasticity.
You know what he told me? I won't tell you what.
Wait to find out.
I won't tell you what event. We were going to go cover an event, a celebrity event, a major league sporting event, 30-some major athletes, couple world champions. And I've always said this to Matt, so I say it to him so I can say it on the air as well. Sometimes, and he has even admitted this, he says things just to rile me up. Okay. And then sometimes he says stuff that he actually, and I honestly believe he believes. Matt told me, nah, I'm going to pass. I don't want to go any place where I'm the biggest celebrity that's there.
Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. That's good. That's good.
And he believes it.
Did he pass?
Yeah, he didn't go. He didn't go.
Oh, man.
Back to the Paramount thing. Two things. Does the UFC have a rating on it for kid? Is it rated R to watch? And will it have that rating when it goes on Paramount? And has there been any pushback yet? Because Paramount is basically a kind of a family type streaming thing, because you have a lot of shows that you can download, like Survivor and reality shows.
Star Trek.
To mix that with UFC, which is, some people have called it barbaric. I don't, but some people have called it that.
Sure.
So I wonder if those two things will happen.
I think I have seen the disclaimer when I've seen it on some of the streaming platforms, where it has said, this may not be blah, 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 blah. And if it does show that, and even if it doesn't, that falls on, honestly, we don't put enough responsibility on parents. People are like, well, you should know if you don't want your children to watch it, if you don't think it's suitable for your children, then you don't have your children watch it. But to go out of the way to make Paramount, the UFC, whoever police your children, like there was things with my kids that I allowed them to do as long as I didn't hear it or see it. Some music that they would listen to, whatever.
Really?
I'm sorry?
Why would you allow them to listen to it if you didn't want to hear it yourself?
Because I don't like their kind of music.
But it's not because it was explicit, right? It was just because you didn't like it, or vice versa. Was it because it was
some
negative?
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's just I don't want to hear it. I don't like it. Go in your room and listen to it. Don't listen to it in the living room. Listen to it in your car. I'm not going to tell you. So that's on me. That's not on, the artist, to have to put something on the, this shows you how old I am, on the CD.
Your kids were playing Barry Manilow, so you're all bent out of shape.
Well, let me tell my joke first. To have the disclaimer on the CD or the cassette, or Ed will remember the 8-track. That's how our commercials at WTF.
I have never owned an 8-track.
No, but the commercials that we used to run as early as I've been on WTAN, they were the 8-tracks. You pop the 8-track in.
Oh, you're talking about the carts.
Yeah, the carts.
The carts. That's 8-track player is a little different.
Yeah, it is different, Randy.
The cart player, it's same form, but it is different. But go ahead.
Yeah, different, same. It's all one and the same, but whatever. So yeah, I'd let them. I don't want to hear them swear in the living room, and I know you're only repeating what's in the song, but I don't want to hear it. But that's on me. That's not on the artist. It's not on the record label. And do both of you guys still own, what is it? Is it Columbia House money?
Oh my gosh, with like BMG.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I used to do that when I was a kid, but not because you'd get like for 1 penny, you'd get 20 CDs. But now you can get all your music from wherever you want it.
Yeah,
it's free.
Yeah, well, it was free back then because 12-year-olds would sign up and get all this stuff, and they don't have the $1.90 to send in. But it's funny when you bring up two older people.
Geez, I remember when
22 albums or whatever.
I remember when Netflix meant you had to send the DVD back in before you got your next one.
The red box.
Yeah, red box.
The red box, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's right. Everything has changed so drastically. Well, I just looked up, I just Googled. And
Let's go hit a break. Let's try to stay on. Come on, you're a TV person. We have time schedules.
Paramount will have the ratings, is what I was going to say. They are going to, in 2026, there's going to be ratings for UFC on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it'll just say it down at the bottom for mature audiences. And then that falls on the parent. What is a mature audience?
Not you.
No, I took my son to a UFC when he was, I think, 11 or 12. That was fine with me. All right, let's go hit this break. Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by
Hey, this is Greg Nettles from the New York Yankees, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split End today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later.
Say goodbye to outdated equipment and welcome the latest smart technology into your home. With Cool Breeze AC, you can effortlessly control the temperature and create the perfect environment from anywhere at any time. Call Cool Breeze today at 727-954-3605.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong.
Hello, this is Gaylord Perry. I play for the San Francisco Giants, the Cleveland Indians, the Texas Rangers, the San Diego Padres, the New York Yankees, the Atlanta Braves, the Seattle Mariners, and the Kansas City Royals. You're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio. Leslie, you know who Gaylord Perry was? Were you familiar with him?
I do not know.
Before your time, I know you're only 16, so you don't remember, Gaylord Perry. And he just rattled off a handful of the teams that he pitched for in the major leagues. And when they would have all those old-timer games, he would play in them all the time. And on the front of his jersey was all the teams listed. And it was like 22 teams. It was really a unique jersey that he would always wear at all those alumni all-star games.
22 games?
I don't know exactly.
Wow.
How many,
So what year are we talking? What decade?
well,
Gaylord, it had to be early because no one names their kid that now.
well, no, because now they're hotels. Right? Isn't there a Gaylord Hotel? It's like the biggest hotel in Nashville.
Yeah, but it's more than that. You just, in today's world, you don't want to be named gay.
I took a letter. I mailed a letter from a side business that I have, and I don't remember what was funny about it. There was something about the letter. I don't know if it was the postal mark or whatever. The company that it was going to, and this is that you're right in that statement in a way, is called WW Gay, which is the name of the construction company. And so when I handed it to the postal guy, he started laughing.
Right.
And I go, no. I go, it's the other side. What are you laughing at? He was laughing at the name, not at what I was trying to get him to look at.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you had something called www.straightman? I mean, it would just, gay used to be a name. It was actually never a bad connotation. It started off in England. When you were gay, you were merry, you were happy. And
Right.
It was also a first name, and a last name. And then throughout history, it got, attributed to merry men and men who, like Oscar Wilde and so forth. And then it got the negative connotation of, of what it was. Of course, it's not negative, and I say that being, openly gay. But that's what happened to it. So now people they don't think of, oh, I'm gay and merry. They would just think
You're
like
just
this
gay and
thing.
Mary. You're gay with Mary.
I don't know. Hopefully he'll stick around. Hopefully we'll still be able to get married. We'll see.
I'm very disappointed. I just went to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And I'm looking up Gaylord Perry. I thought he played for like 412 teams.
I thought you said 22 a second ago.
Well, I said I made it up. I didn't know how many. But he rattled them off, and I honestly think he probably rattled them all. He played for the San Francisco Giants, the Cleveland Indians, the Texas Rangers, the San Diego Padres, went back to the Texas Rangers, so that really doesn't count.
Yeah.
The New York Yankees, the Atlanta Braves, the Seattle Mariners, and the Kansas City Royals.
If you play for the Yankees, you've had a career. Period. I don't care if it's even if you get with if you can play for the Yankees or the Red Sox. To me, that says boom. You've made it. They're the most storied. Maybe Cleveland too, but they don't win like the Yankees and the Red Sox and so forth. But
well, first of all, you're leaving a couple of them out. Okay. If you're going to include the Boston Red Sox, who have won very little,
I know,
and not the Los Angeles Dodgers, who have won.
Absolutely. Hands down, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, even back when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers. I know. In fact, I have friends, my older friends are much, much older than me,
Played for the
Brooklyn Dodgers days, and they're still fans, even though they're New Yorkers. They're it's funny, they're Yankee and Dodger fans. Kind of like how my family, we're Miami Dolphin and Tampa fans, because people have to remember Tampa came around, in the mid to late 70s, the Buccaneers. But the Dolphins, if your parents, there was no one else. There's no Jags. There was no Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So everybody liked the Dolphins.
No running water, no cable TV, no plumbing. Right. That was.
You're right.
Well, and I've always complained about that that media and fans, oh, you live in whatever city, it doesn't matter what. All right, Tampa Bay. You have to be a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. No, you don't. You have ties elsewhere. Especially if you were of that age, and like you just said, the Bucks were not here yet. The Rays were not here yet.
Right.
Where were your parents fans? Typically, one of two things happen, obviously. You either follow in your parents' footsteps and or you rebel and you go with the opposite of your parents' favorite team.
But that's just silly. And then you're just a bad kid and a poser.
Well, I'm not a poser.
No, if you go against your parents just because you're going against your parents, you're kind of, it's not true.
Well, with me, it's definitely not true. I think my Phillies thing is still there. My parents born in Philly, lived in Philly. I was born in Philly. I will always be a Phillies fan. I will always root for the Phillies over any team, every team. And I did when they played the Rays in the World Series. I wasn't.
You're talking baseball. Let's be honest, Randy. We know you're not an Eagles fan.
I'm not.
Yeah, see, you're contradicting yourself, which makes you kind of a poser.
I'm not contradicting myself.
Yeah,
I'm
always a Philly fan, and then you go,
Phillies. I didn't say Philly. I said a Phillies fan. I am always a Phillies fan. Philadelphia Phillies. I will always be a Philadelphia Phillies fan.
Your family is from Philly, right?
Because my dad was a big Phillies fan. My dad wasn't as big a football. My dad's favorite sport was baseball.
Okay.
To the point, and he coached and blah 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 blah. And I know I've told this before. I don't know if I told it, when you were on. At my dad's funeral at the VA in St. Pete, some people were dressed up, in suits. Some people came, I came in a Phillies jersey. That's what I wore to my dad's funeral. Was the Philadelphia Phillies jersey.
Did you speak? Did you get up there and speak for your dad?
I did say something.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's very hard. No, it's very hard.
I had to leave my mom's, and it was difficult.
The jersey that I wore was a game-used Philadelphia Phillies spring training jersey. I don't know if you remember. I think it was 2012. Bright House Networks Field, I think that's what it was called at the time, flooded. And they threw away, and then they went and got and gave to me a lot of the ruined jerseys that really were not ruined. They got flooded. And they went and replaced them, and they gave me crates of these jerseys. Well, one of the jerseys, the player's last name was my dad's first name.
Oh, wow.
So I've kept that jersey, and I wore that jersey to the funeral, and I did get up and speak. And I said, we were talking about religion earlier and being Jewish and whatever. So I got up, and there were some friends that were Jewish there, some friends that grew up right behind us that their mom we called aunt, blah, 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 blah. So I got up and I said, as we were growing up, my parents had to make a decision. My dad had to make a decision. Do we go to religious school on Saturday, or do we play Little League baseball? My dad was bar mitzvahed. Like I said, my kids have since been bar mitzvahed. Yeah. And I said, my dad made the right choice. We played baseball. So my religious background is pretty much zero. And I said that. I said, I only know one prayer in Hebrew. And it's the prayer that we would say for 8 nights during Hanukkah. So I recited the Hanukkah prayer at my dad's funeral.
So basically, baseball was your religion when you were a kid.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely. It was everything to my dad.
That's a great dad.
And a great coach. And Mansour talking about his dad. My dad made things very hard on me. When I was 12, there was the All-Star vote. All the managers would get in a room. There were 6 managers, and they voted on players for the All-Stars. I was elected to the All-Star team, 5 yeas, 1 nay. My dad voted against me.
Why would your dad vote against you?
My dad wanted me and wanted everybody. I earned it. I didn't get it because my dad was the manager. I didn't this because my dad was the manager. So if it came down to 3 others said no, I might not have made the All-Stars because this guy didn't vote for me.
But your dad knew that you deserved it, right? He just did that to keep you like grounded.
Humble.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, all of that.
It's like Barry. Yeah, your dad's like Barry Sanders' dad.
My dad was like Mike Jaminski's dad. I know you have no idea who that is. Mike Jaminski, his dad wouldn't let him come in allegedly and like eat until he made 5,000 free throws every day
Oh, that's funny.
in the snow.
Barry Sanders' father was so hard on him. He never said he was his favorite running back. It was always Brown instead. And it was he just was the guy from the Browns. I'm having a mental. Who was a really famous
Jim Brown.
Yeah, who played for the Browns too.
Yes.
Yeah. So he always said that he was his favorite running back, even when Barry was breaking
They
all these
changed
records.
to the name of the team because of Jim Brown.
What?
They changed the name of the team to the Browns because of Jim Brown.
The Browns were called something else prior to that?
Yep, they were
What?
they were the Cleveland Greens.
You are you are full of crap. I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm worried because I'm like, that is not true. Why would Randy? Because I know the Browns because my cousins played for the Browns for 10 years. So I'm like, what is he talking about, Randy? You're a turkey, man. And
I had you
don't
for a
want to
minute.
sit here. I don't want to sit here and call you out on being so drastically wrong on that. But I was just like,
Can I go back to the Eagles for a minute? You said that my dislike for the Eagles.
yeah,
I do
want
watch.
to know something. Question though, if
Hold-
I got you,
Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Okay. I have watched the Eagles more because of a particular player. I have rooted for the Phillies more or the Eagles more than I ever have because of a particular player. And when and if I get this corner of my studio with that ugly green jersey, I will root for the Philadelphia Eagles even more.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. We were both getting to the same topic. So Charlie, unfortunately, got hurt this
Right.
season. He's a
Yep.
long snapper for the Eagles. He's my cuz. He used to play for the Browns for 10 years, and he went from the worst to the first. So I have hated the Eagles my entire life. I am now an Eagles fan because of Charlie, and I want him to get a ring. And even if he's on the IR, it's okay. You know, I mean, he's still
get a ring.
Yeah, he'll still get a ring, and he definitely, if he's the best long snapper in the NFL. Okay, and I don't know what the deal is now, but for a while there, he was the highest paid too. He's phenomenal. He's a good kid. He's from Tampa, and so he's not a kid anymore. He's like 31. But if I can get that jersey, if I can get him get you a game jersey from Charlie, signed, you'll put it up and you'll officially be an Eagles fan.
As long as he's on the Philadelphia Eagles. And I have just, I hope he can hear. Our next guest is already in the room. We have to go to the top of the hour break, but he is now one of my favorite athletes of all time. Not because he's a Marine, and we're going to talk about the Marine thing, being a Navy vet. I got some questions for him. But early, a lot of people show up late. Our next guest here early, so we're going to hit the top of the hour break. We'll be back in a couple minutes after the top of the hour with Shan Sharif. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back. Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Hey, I appreciate it. So we do at the top of the hour break. We'll come back live at 3 minutes after.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just here, brother.
So, and I already gave away a lot of what we're going to talk about. I'm a vet, you're a vet, so we're going to talk some vet stuff.
I'm a vet too.
I love it.
I'm Army.
I don't want to say anything else. I want it to be live because I think it's going to be kind of funny. You can be the judge, but
all right, brother.
So we're at the break, then they run the news, and then we come back at 3 minutes after.
And what is this on? What channel?
It's Knockout Radio on
sick.
FCC Radio, as well as our YouTube channel. 71.9 million views in the last about 9 months.
Oh, sweet.
Doing all right. I've covered the UFC longer than anybody in the world.
Yeah, Randy's old school.
I'm also old.
So did you interview Brian Stan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the man right there.
You want to hear a funny Brian Stan story?
I'd love to.
All right, and I can tell this on the air as well. Feel free to ask Nobby. Feel free to ask Chris Costello. Anything I tell you, trust me. I don't divulge. I don't, exaggerate, whatever. So I'm at a charity event in Columbus, Ohio. The UFC was doing a fight there, and it was the same week as the Arnold Classic. I went to a charity event with Mark Coleman. Brian Stan was there, blah, 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 blah. I get a phone call from my brother-in-law, a Marine, police something. I don't know what his official title was. Allegedly, he was there when they found bin Laden's money and all that kind of stuff. So he calls me like out of the clear blue as I'm at this charity event. You know, I talk to him once a year, once every other year. And he goes, "Hey, Randy, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I know you like that UFC stuff." I go, "Yeah, okay." He goes, "Do you know who Brian Stan is?" I go, "Yeah, I know who he is. I'm standing with him." He goes, "Yeah, I busted half of his unit at the war." You know, for silly little stuff. It wasn't anything major or anything, but I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Nothing about Brian." No, Brian's a good dude.
Oh, that's awesome. I look forward to meeting him one day. He was the first Marine in, so he kind of kicked the door down for us.
Have you ever read the book about what happened to him in the Marines?
No, I've followed his story before, and I know about some of his deployments, but I haven't read his book.
Again, it's all public knowledge, so I'm not speaking out of turn. He was accused of rape.
Oh shit.
Yeah. After I gotta watch the time. All right, we got a couple minutes, and there's a whole book about it. And I didn't even know about it. I happened to interview the guy. Who did a lot on the Army Navy. I'm sorry, the Navy Army game. It's always Navy Army. And he got accused. A bunch of Marines came back to his house after they went out at night, and he got court-martialed. And one of the things Brian said that it tore him up was that his unit's over in the war, and he's here, you know, fighting something that he didn't do, and he was found not guilty.
Yep.
And basically the jury and everything was like, "I don't understand something. There's 9 Marines in the living room sleeping, and you're claiming something happened, but you didn't call out for help. Something doesn't make, you know." And I know Brian, blah, 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 blah. And you know, those things, and unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're found not guilty. You're guilty now for the rest of your life, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it kind of tarnishes your reputation, unfortunately. And it's pretty common in the military because they have a lot more stipulations where it's like you have 1 sip of alcohol and you can't consent anymore, and all the kinds of like, hey, if you're out there and you make those bad decisions, it's kind of
Yeah, the
guilty.
idea is not to get yourself in that situation, but we do. I'm going to say this. I mean, as we know, there have been massive amounts of Randy attacks on women from our.
Hold on one sec. Sean, Leslie's a veteran as well. So granted, it's Army, so it really doesn't count. But she is
No, we love all vets.
Hoo-ah.
I want to stop because my joke that I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, he's gonna start ripping on us. You know what's gonna happen.
It's all right.
Sharif. We're gonna get ripped on by the Navy guy.
You a corpsman? What?
Me? No, I was Army.
No, Navy. Usually it's
Oh,
Navy
Randy.
corpsman.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yes.
No, I was an operations specialist, air traffic controller, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Something we have mutual top secret clearances.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let me
I
see.
had a secret. I only got a secret. I could have gone for more, but I got out.
It's not as cool once you get it. And you're like, damn, I thought I was gonna get like
Yeah, right.
nuclear launch codes or something, and they're just
that is what I had. That is what I had. I had that.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
You're a bit cooler than me then.
No, not at all.
PBS News. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hi, this is Bert Sugar, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back. Hour number 3 kicks off. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. All right, I think we have another new favorite athlete, favorite celebrity. Let's welcome to the show, fights this weekend, Sean Sharif. Sean, how are you?
Hey!
Doing well, brother. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, typical military, 6 minutes early, which is still late to some military people. So, hey, I want to thank you. I know that we talked a little bit off the air, and I saved a couple things, and I brought up my brother-in-law off the air. We talked about as he's a Marine as well. How come I'm ex-Navy, Leslie's ex-Army, you're a Marine?
It's just the way the cookie crumbles, brother. I don't know.
You never hear you never hear ex-Marine, and you never hear just Navy. It's always former Navy, ex-Navy, and everybody's like the Marine. Marines say it's the Marines and everybody else. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, once a Marine, always a Marine. We try to represent with pride, but we love all our veterans and all the different organizations the same.
No, we don't.
Come on, I'm on the air. I'm trying to be nice. If there's some Army and Navy listeners out there,
No, we don't. No. What we have to do is we have to be very careful. And I don't hold anything back. Like I told you, I tell it the way it is or the way I believe it is. So being in the Navy, I don't know if you know this, but they recently passed a new rule to be in the Coast Guard. You have to be 6 feet or taller. Did you know that?
What? No, I didn't. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be 6 feet or taller. That way, if the ship sinks, they can walk back to shore.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I've made these jokes and everything for years. Well, my granddaughter is now a freshman in high school, and she wants to go into the military. She wants to be a pilot. The ROTC at her high school is Coast Guard. And so, yeah, I had to backtrack a lot. So we have to be careful. I had to give her I gave her a Coast Guard boat for a room. And so we still don't look at them all the same. What was your military service like?
So I started off, I got in as a recon contract. So I was trying to be a reconnaissance Marine, and I went through infantry training, and then I got to the recon program, and I was not the greatest swimmer. So I ended up getting dropped from that program, and I got recycled to the needs of the Marine Corps, as they call it. And I ended up in North Carolina, and then I chose to sign up for embassy duty, which was probably the best decision I did, because it gave me an opportunity to travel to all the different continents in the world, work.
Wow.
If the listeners aren't familiar, in every U.S. embassy, there's a detachment of Marines because it's considered U.S. soil. So we're in charge of protecting like the diplomats, the ambassadors, classified material in case of protests or any kind of arising chaos in the country. They usually depend on us out there. So it was a really great opportunity, and now we're here.
The joke thing that I was going to say, and then we've kind of talked, so it's not going to be as it was going to be. That I always make fun of the other services. I always make fun of Marines, but A, looking at your size, B, looking at some of your fights. I'm not going to throw the things to you that I have done in the past. So with that said, what did you take anything, from not the military per se, but like when they decommissioned our ship, we were able to take a couple things, kind of like when a show ends, some of the memorabilia. Were you able to take anything that you still have today from your service?
I got a really cool NCO sword they gave me when I got out, so that's really cool. I've always wanted a katana, like a big, like a Japanese sword, but those are kind of harder to get in. But they did gift me one of those, and honestly, I think the memories are the best part. Just looking back, you don't realize how it's kind of like when you're going through it, it's like, oh, this sucks, but then when you look back, you're like, man, those are some really amazing times. So I think that's what I took with me the most.
It is crazy you say that, and I'm sure Leslie, you say the same thing, because I necessarily didn't like it going through. You've got a guy 6 months older than you, treating you blah 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 blah, or at least on our ship, rank meant everything. So you could be asleep in your bunk at 3 a.m, and if somebody new came on the ship and wanted that middle rack, they'd kick you out.
Yeah,
and you don't like it at the time, but it teaches you so many things. And hopefully, and at least it did with me, that's the one good thing I can say about myself. I never did those things when I was able to.
Right.
You learn, you grow, and all that kind of stuff. So looking back, I kind of miss it. I wished I would have stayed in longer then, but not then when I was doing it did I want to do that.
Hindsight is 20/20. So
absolutely.
sure.
Have you ever been
the
to?
thing is, when you get to the other rank, this is what I found out. When I went through AIT, that's like our you have your basic and then your second training, where you guys, you were a Navy seaman, you were a Marine after basic, but in the Army, they don't call you a soldier until after you go through AIT, which is a big bummer because if you're in joint training, everybody gets the normal treatment, the good treatment, but we're still kind of like in the recruit stage, even when we're learning what we're supposed to be learning. But I remember those people that were like that with rank. And the thing is, I rose in rank and everybody else rises in rank and you remember them. And so when you start to get up there, you're like, they're like, oh, I was just doing that for this and that. But there's a certain bit of respect. And like you, Randy, I never pull rank just to pull rank on somebody. I think it's also a bit of a different structure in the Marine Corps and in the Navy than it is in the Army because there's so many people in the Army. So your rank probably holds more weight, I would imagine, a little bit more weight.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. Some of the best leaders I met, they never had to pull rank. You already know who's respected and who. Like, if you kind of got to be like, listen to me because I'm a sergeant. Everyone's like,
yeah,
we'll do as we're told, but you're not really respecting that guy. So
it's funny. It's funny that you say that. There was an incident, and I saw this happen. So a girl had some groceries in her hand. She just went grocery shopping. She walked by an officer. She had, what are they called, bags or whatever, in both arms. And she walked by and said something to the officer, and he wrote her up for not saluting him. And she said, am I saluting you or am I saluting the uniform? Mm-hmm. And the officer said, you're saluting the uniform. And I'm telling you, this happened. A couple of days later, she walked by him again and said, good morning, uniform, and kept walking.
That's great.
Yeah, there's definitely some pettiness that come along with it.
for sure. Final military question, at least for now, then we'll talk about the fight. How do you respond? Because I don't even know how to respond when somebody says, thank you for your service.
Yeah, I always say thank you for your support. I know they mean well by it, so I never try to overthink it. Initially, I was kind of like, I don't know how to respond to this, but now I'm always like, thank you for your support, I think if I said thank you for your tax dollars, it might get offensive, but
Thanks for paying me, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will. Appreciate that. I was in California. For years. And when I was in the military, I was in California, I think for 4 or 5 years. And I only got one thank you for your service. And I'll never forget it because I was like, wow, somebody said that. And I love California, but I'm just saying you don't get that. I did not get that there. And then I came to Florida and I get it every time, discounts at the movies, this and that. Yeah. So I make sure that I say, I appreciate that, my pleasure or whatever, because not everyone is appreciative of our sacrifices. So it's grateful to hear it.
100%.
Let's talk about this week. What's fight week like for you?
Well, honestly, this is my first fight week, so it's been kind of like the last fight I took was on 3 days' notice, so it was a bit of get in, weigh in, sign the poster, and it was fight day. So it's been cool. It's been an experience. I believe this is my first or second interview. So I was just enjoying the ride right now and taking it all in.
Has that hit you then? You've been fighting for a while, but those 3 letters obviously mean a great deal, UFC. When you see, the UFC on the ESPN scroll for the next couple of weeks until it goes to Paramount, and it says your name or, what is it like when you saw that for the first time and this week when you signed those posters?
Honestly, even though I have the uniform and I'm a part of the organization, I don't feel like it's really going to hit until I have my hand raised, until I get the victory, because it's like going through boot camp and then they just give you the uniform and the rank, and it's but you didn't actually earn it. You didn't actually go through the training. So that's all it is, and I know that's just my standard I set for myself. So the ESPN stuff, it's all good, but honestly, what means most to me is just getting the victory. That's I gotta feel victorious, and I think that's when it'll really kick in.
Is it like changing schools? You walk into the classroom for the first time, and all these people are looking oh, who are you, or that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good analogy for sure. Because yeah, for the first few months here is definitely me eating by myself at the cafeteria and just walking around. Who's this guy? Like who? Like everyone. It's funny at the PI. That's actually where I'm here now at the UFC Performance Institute. Everyone's like always like looking like who's who and like sizing you up and like what team is he with? You know, so. It's been an interesting experience, and yeah, it could definitely feel like a new school. But this is Gladiator School, the Harvard MMA, as I like to call it.
No, there you go. What was it like the first time you walked in there? And you know, I remember the old UFC offices on Sahara, and it's
Yep.
so different over there. You know, with the cafeteria and you know the gym and the weight room there compared to what they had on Sahara. When you walked into that cafeteria, and it's basically like, you hungry?
Yeah. Well, so that was the thing is I've been here a few times actually. I came back in 2019 for one of my friends that was on Contender Series, and then I remember I came in a few times with a few of my training partners from Extreme Couture, and so I've always like been around the UFC headquarters, but it wasn't until I got signed that they actually had like my name on the roster, and I signed myself in. And yeah, but I've always been around the place. It's funny because like I used to just drive up and down the 215 just like looking and like, damn, I really can't wait to get in there, you know. And so now I come in here every day. It's like my second home, and yeah, it feels great.
Before we talk about the fight itself, let's get to know you a little bit more than, you know, just you're Marine and you're ranked above me and you're bigger than me and all that kind of stuff. You're going out to dinner. You're going to have dinner with 4 people, living or passed away, real or fictitious. Can't be teammates. It can't be, you know, family. Who are you going to dinner with?
4 people, dead or alive, and they can't be fake.
No, it can be real or fictitious.
Okay.
Because I'm going to dinner with Rocky Balboa every single time.
Man, that's a good one. I think I'm gonna go with Mike Tyson,
That's a good one.
Cain Velasquez, and John Jones. Those are my top 3. So I guess.
Well, you get one more if you want.
Oh, Dana White for sure.
Good answer.
We owe this all to Dana.
Man.
Yeah.
We owe all of this to Dana. There is absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we were talking earlier, where you asked how it feels to be in the UFC. Like I've been here at the PI almost every day for a whole year, and I still haven't gotten a chance to meet him and shake his hand. So I'm really looking forward to that moment when I get the win and I finally get to the opportunity to meet him and stuff. So that I think that's when I'll really sit in. Like, oh shit, I'm actually in here.
So are you?
Mike would be the comic relief.
Yeah. I've actually met Mike a few times, but it was kind of just like at one of his shows or at like a podcast and stuff. But I would actually like to sit down and have an actual deep conversation because he's quite the philosopher, and I'm always intrigued by his thought process and all the experiences he's been through.
Absolutely. I sat next to him at a birthday party, and I was intimidated. There was only one open seat. It was at Tito Ortiz's birthday party at the Luxor. And Tito and I have been friends forever. And I wasn't even talking to him. I was respecting, you know, him and his spot. And then people started to come over, and I'm like, oh, I am sitting next to him. And yeah, just talking to him, is surreal. I mean, it's Mike Tyson. And, you know, a lot of people don't look at athletes as intelligent and can talk and know what they're talking about. And so, yeah, you definitely should take care of that. So after you win on Saturday and you turn to Dana and you ask for the $50,000 bonus and say, hey, let's all go to dinner, you know, and Mike Tyson and I, and you can take care of all that.
Yeah, that'd be great. And it's funny you say that because when it's pretty crazy that it's happened a few times where every time like Mike Tyson has walked into a room or walked like in an area, like everyone gets the same like, oh shit, that's Mike Tyson. And it's like everyone's like a little like intimidated, and he's just like walking by like it's normal and stuff, but he has quite the aura around him. It's
for sure. My dad was in Atlantic City on the boardwalk, and Mike was there with his big bodyguards and whatever, and my dad started to walk over to ask for an autograph for me. I was younger or whatever, and the big bodyguards kind of stepped up, and Mike turns to him and goes, no, I think it's okay. That's not how he said it, but you know, everything's okay. Well, they walked over and they had a conversation. So Mike is once you see that, we see that Mike Tyson that we saw in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to push about mixed martial arts in the UFC since day one. I've covered the UFC since UFC 1.
Wow.
You're just like, oh yeah, I've covered the UFC longer than anyone in the world.
That's UFC 1.
Yep.
From get-go.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it this way, but not only have I talked to Dana on numerous, like he stops to talk to me, which really is super cool. That he acknowledges and,
I've heard that about him, where the people that have been loyal with him for a long time, he's stays true to. So that's pretty refreshing to hear.
One of his comments that I saw in one of his reels is, "You want to be friends? I can be your best friend ever. You want to be enemies? I can be your worst enemy of all time." So
that's a Marine quote too. No better friend, no worse enemy.
No, for sure. Before we run out of time, let's talk about the fight. On Saturday.
Sir.
Give me your thoughts on your opponent.
I mean, big scary heavyweight. It's the UFC, so there's no freebies here, and I'm expecting a war, and whatever it takes to get the victory, and that's what I'm prepared to do.
All right. If my other co-host was here, he would look at me and give me that look. And since we've talked about a lot of things on and off the air, I'm going to ask you the question that Matt always wants me to ask. I don't like that analogy about going to war, because you did go to war. We all could have gone to war.
Yeah.
Does that bother you? Obviously it doesn't, because you just said it, but
yeah, I guess when people think about it in a more literal terms, where this is definitely not armed combat and there's a referee and there's lives are not going to be lost. I guess you could say it from that terms, but for me, it was more of the sense, all my fights before this were a first round knockout. And I think that it got to me last time, where I was like, oh, I got to knock him out in the first round. And when it got to the second round, I was like, oh, I've never been to this part of the fight, and it was kind of like a psychological hurdle. So this time it was kind of like, I'm not trying to finish the fight in 9 seconds. I'm not trying to finish in the first round. I'm just ready to go for the full 15 minutes. And whenever the victory comes, whenever that knockout comes, it'll come when it's time.
final question for you. When does the switch flip? We always talk about, I'm calm, I'm this, and you're a calm, a great conversation. When does that, is it while you're in the back? Is it when you're walking to the cage? When?
Yeah, I think right around when I'm walking in and start getting my hands wrapped and really start settling in, because it can kind of work against you if you get a little too worked up and excited prior to, you kind of burn yourself out. So I've been pretty good at being able to control my emotions and my nerves, obviously with all the training and the things we've experienced. It helps with that. But usually right around when I'm getting my hands wrapped, I'm like, all right.
Are you a ritual kind of guy? Like, I know that a lot of ball players are, baseball especially, are superstitious. They do certain things before they go in. I was curious if you have anything ritualistic that you like to do that kind of brings you into that flow as well.
No, nothing too crazy. I just try to be as present as possible and just try to be in the moment. And rituals can mess you up sometimes, because you're like, oh, I forgot my lucky boxers, and then suddenly you think you're not going to be able to win the fight. So it's like I try to stay away from that.
Awesome, great stuff, Sean. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to put you back in that side room, and if you can just send me your address, I want to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong. As well as I'd like to send you the Knockout Radio Challenge coin that I put together because of the Challenge military coin. So
you got a Challenge coin. That's sick. That's how we know you're a vet. That's for sure.
I do. So I'm going to put you in there, send me your address, and I'll get that sent out to you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the process, and have fun on Saturday.
You're right.
All right. Let's move, Sean. Let's go hit a quick break. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
How you doing? This is Tony Gonzalez from the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're talking sports.
Sean, do you see that chat room? I can't hear you. Oh, hold on. My fault. I can't unmute you.
Oh, I muted myself. Sorry.
Oh, okay. There's a chat room on the side. It says private chat, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So this goes directly to you.
Yeah, it's just me. It's only the people in the room, so it's only the three of us.
Okay.
We used to do it. UFC would send me the numbers, and then I would text, say, send me your address. So just me. I'll delete it as soon as you send it. And I want to send you the challenge coin.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time. Are you living in Vegas?
Yeah. So I moved out here a year ago just to get signed. So I've just been chasing the dream, just making it happen. But
Okay.
yeah, I live in Vegas now full time for about a year now.
I'll be in Vegas for the CES the first week of January. Then I'll be out for the pay-per-view. Then I'll be there Super Bowl Saturday. So, let's grab lunch, or, if you have time, I can meet you at Extreme Couture. Randy's a buddy. We'll go grab lunch or something.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, I just put the address in the chat.
Okay.
I'm sure
Perfect.
you'll be able to find out how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, well, and I'll send it, in the package. I'll send you my card and stuff, so you'll have my info as well.
Awesome. Thank you,
Awesome.
Randy.
Good stuff.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Lindsay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good stuff. What a good guy.
Nice guy. They're really good people on today.
That captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fia with Remax Realty Unlimited, 813-494-4873. For 29 years, I've had the honor of helping families across Tampa Bay find their perfect homes. As a national ranked award-winning agent, I pride myself on having the best customer service and deep local knowledge. Whether you're buying and selling in Tampa Bay, I'll guide you every step of the way. Jennifer Fio, 813-494-4873. Let's make your next move your best move.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Dylan Hart Jr., and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back, about a half an hour? Yeah, about 30 minutes left of the program. Flying through some great fighters on today. I love getting up-and-coming guys as well.
Yeah.
We don't know the stories yet, and like I've always said, I don't really do a whole lot. Like, as soon as I found out he was a Marine, that's all I needed. We talk some Marine stuff, military stuff, then we can branch out, and it's definitely very, very cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action, a large man. And I was, like I said, I was going to make fun of the Marines like I always do. He's a little too big for me.
He could squash both of us with his thumb, Randy. He could just annihilate the little bit what's left of the veteran corps on this show.
His nickname is The Smoke.
Oh, I like that one.
You don't want any of the smoke. This smoke. So
it's funny, we were talking about the Coast Guard. Right now, you have a relative who's going into the Coast Guard.
Well, no, she's in Coast Guard ROTC.
Okay, fair enough. So
she's not going to go into the Coast Guard, even though I make fun of them. I make fun of the Coast Guard a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know a whole lot of what they do, but I think they guard our coast and not go to the other coasts like the Navy does. So maybe the Coast Guard's not a bad way to go.
No, they're kind of like the National Guard of the waterways. You know how your guard is supposed to be specific to your state. But I'll tell you this, if you join the Guard, if anyone out there is looking for it, they have amazing benefits right now. But my niece joined. But one of the things that you will find in the Guard is you'll get activated overseas for wars more than the Army Reserve. At one point, over 51% of the Guard was in Iraq. I mean, and they're supposed to be stateside. So, but the thing about the Coast Guard is that I don't think a lot of people in the United States know that they're part of the military.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I think it's kind of like the Puerto Rico issue before Hurricane Maria hit. So many Americans didn't even know Puerto Rico was a just less than a state, like it's its own country, but it's part of America. You have a social security number. Anybody who goes to Puerto Rico can work here and come over here, and they vote in some of our elections. And I feel like that's the same situation with the Coast Guard. I talk to people, they don't even know the Coast Guard is a military organization. They think it's a paramilitary or some sort of a private government thing, but not part of the military.
That surprises me. The Puerto Rico thing, the Guam,
yeah,
I could buy that people
America's
don't know
Samoa.
because they're oblivious to whatever. I would find it hard to believe that people didn't know the Coast Guard is
military,
semi-military.
Yeah, but it isn't. It's military. You're see what I mean?
No, I'm not. You want me to say something that's going to hurt my soul, calling them full military?
They are, and that's what I'm saying. Like nobody.
No. They are full military. No, but I'm saying in my list of importance, the Coast Guard's not up there.
I agree. But I will say this, in Florida, it probably should be, because they're the ones who fight the drug traffickers out there in the waterways. That's what the Coast Guard does. So in many ways, when it's peacetime and not wartime, they can see more action than the Navy and the Army.
Well, I could make a joke. I could just move on. There's numerous ways that I could go in talking about drug runners right now.
I'm just saying, I find it interesting that, and if anybody is out there listening here and was wondered about it, yes, the Coast Guard is 100% military. It's a same.
It is 100% military, just looked down upon by other military.
I don't know. I have one friend who was in the Coast Guard, and she was not happy with it, and she didn't like it, but. And she was a female, obviously.
All right. Well, the show's now going to go to Hell in a Handbasket.
All right. Hey, what's going on?
What up, people? What up, Knockout Radio?
Well, we have another guest coming on right now. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, I just want to check in. I'm working today, but I just met the brother of UFC veteran Wes Combs. His brother fought Mike Nichols back at UFC, the Ultimate Fighter Season 3. So, you never know who you're going to meet in hospitality. And UFC is a huge sport, and it reaches far into life. So even though I'm not with you guys today on the show, I'm still connected to the combat sport world everywhere I go.
Well, you're really not. You're really a virgin when it comes to sports. The UFC is not a sport, Chucklehead.
It's my favorite sport.
And you train it too.
Pepsi's my favorite Coke.
Listen, Street Nat Matt,
and Kleenex is my favorite tissue.
We've missed you. You know why we've missed you? I'm the one, Street Nat Matt, that's had to talk about neuroscience today. I'm the one that's had to talk about traumatic brain injuries and science because you're not here.
Hey, I got coupling bands on. I'm getting my workout in right now. Growth hormone, stem cell, nitrous oxide. I'm working, but I'm getting healthy in the process.
And we just got dumber.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's how it works. I take your energy and then I make myself smarter.
We had 3 fantastic MMA/UFC chats today. And I felt so much better about myself after Mansoor came on. Do you see his fight on Saturday?
No.
Remember we talked to him last week. 12 seconds.
Yeah, of course. You
14 seconds.
You told him to come on in advance ahead of Winter Wednesday.
Yep. I invited him back for Victory Wednesday and kind of let me down. First round, it took him 1:09 this time.
69-second show.
But you called it. You knew he was going to win because you don't usually offer people something unless they you offered it before they fought, which is uncharacteristic of Randy. But you knew. Somehow you knew.
I knew. Good dude.
Matt,
we had him
really
on for almost a half an hour.
he's all about presence, and he's a really great guy. I can't wait to watch his career flourish. Hopefully it will, just because of the kind of person he is. I think he's probably going to be one of the best role models for his generation out there.
Do I need to throw this out? Do we need to make a bet for this weekend?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you're not involved. Coast Guard's not playing. Coast Guard's not playing this weekend, so your affiliation doesn't come into play this weekend.
He's auxiliary Coast Guard.
I was a Boy Scout.
You were a Cub Scout.
I mean, I sold popcorn. I was a hell of a good
brownie
popcorn guy. Yeah, brownies and popcorns, cookies.
What's the bet, Randy man?
I don't know. Well, Navy Army's this weekend, isn't it?
Oh God, Army Navy? Is it?
No, Navy Army. It's Navy Army.
Navy's gonna win.
Of course.
Because they're really good this year. They're really good. So I'm not even going to get into that one
so you would only bet if you know you're going to win, not if you don't even think you're going to win.
No, we're not going to win.
Army. It's always Army Navy, right? Like, because you can't
bet
Navy Army. That means nah, N-A, nah.
Yeah,
like, it's definitely not Navy Army. Nah.
Yeah, it's Army Navy. No one ever calls it Navy Army.
I do. It's Navy Army. I'm not, top billing Navy, and then whoever we're playing in whatever order. Space Coast.
The Navy's going to
Army.
win because they're 20 times better than all of the forces right now on the football field.
If we could tape that, if I could get that tape back, I certainly would appreciate it. Now I have a great tape from you and a great tape
I don't
from
have
tomorrow.
much time, Randy. I don't have much time left. I just want to get this in. So I was out here this weekend, and a sponsor of the BKFC, the Grunt Style clothing brand. I got to meet the founder, Tim Jensen. So even in the mall, even in retail, a lot of combat sports supporters and fans, people that make these young men and women's dreams come true by supporting the sports and making it happen to where they can live out their dream and become a professional fighter. So just want to get that in before I go back to work. Love you guys. I'll check in later if I can, but have a great rest of the show.
Go back to work.
Later, Straight Nat.
Maybe not. Hopefully not.
He's having way too much fun without us.
And we're having way too much fun without him.
Yeah, these are great guests today.
I think King Green was the best.
Yeah.
No, he didn't call in.
Yeah, the best.
No, I thought all three were outstanding. We've been very lucky. And they're all good. Outside of their element, they don't want to talk fights. That's what they're there for. They want to get away. I don't talk football with the Bucks.
Yeah.
I talk fights. I don't talk fights with fighters. I talk Rocky Balboa, the greatest combat athlete of all time.
Well, you think so.
Yeah. Underdog story. Took down the invincible Apollo Creed.
Well,
went to Russia.
I'm still all about Rudy, and I want to know why you think that the players on that team don't like the movie Rudy. The players that were from Rudy's time period don't like that movie.
I didn't speak to that many Notre Damers.
Okay.
They were too busy throwing temper tantrums and not showing up for bowl games.
Wondering why. Look, when you freaking get beat by Miami, guess what? I don't care if you're ranked. They're going to jump you in the end. They don't belong in the college playoffs. They need to just take a chill pill.
Absolutely. I agree. If they would have had a better record, then they have an argument.
Yeah.
I don't know what the records were. If one's 11-2 and the other is 10-3.
They started off 0-2. And here's the thing, like Miami beat them. It's like, I know they're playing better. They got better, but that's just not how it works. And they're lucky. They're just lucky that, they're even being talked about right now. And they need to stop being independent. They need to get with a conference.
Well, the unfortunate thing is they don't have to, and they're not going to.
I know, but they should.
But
they're in it with all the other, it's just football. They need to be. I hate independent football teams.
No, I get it. I agree with you, but they don't have to because they're Notre Dame.
I know.
They have all these other things in place. They have the free, they're not free, their TV network.
Yeah.
where they get to keep all the money. Why would they join a conference? There's zero
Well, then they
reason
just
for that.
stop there. If they, they're just crybabies right now. They're just little whiny crybabies. is what they
Absolutely.
are. And I have no respect for. And yeah, you're right. They get all that money. Even more reason to just shut your trap.
We don't know. I hate, as you know, I hate hypotheticals. Oh, I do need to tell you, we have a new segment.
Yes.
So the new segment is the last segment of the show. We have a new team member.
Yeah.
So H will be on in about 5 minutes. You know, he's always early as well. H is from WMOR TV, and he is a TV host, producer, yada, 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 host of In the Zone TV. He's been my neighbor at the Bucks the last couple of years.
Okay.
So we're going to get his Buck take and all that kind of stuff here in a few minutes. We'll take, the break.
I
in a
can't
couple
wait to
minutes.
hear that.
Oh, it'll be, he thinks I'm funny because who do you like today? And I go, I'm going to take the bet that I win either way. I'm going to take the Saints. He's like, you're going to take the Saints? I go, yeah. Either the Saints win and I win, or the Saints lose, the Bucks win and I win. So I win either way.
Well, I honestly, this is what I thought going into the Saints game. I thought if we lose this game, now we have a difficult time playing the Saints historically, but nonetheless, if we lose this game, we certainly have a better team. Even with the rain and so forth, then we're not making the playoffs. That was my thought, because there's no reason we should have lost to the Saints.
I hate when somebody texts on their social media to a fighter, you cost me, I bet on you.
Yeah.
Right? I hate when they do that. So can I text the Bucks and tell them they cost me $14.81 from the Hard Rock bet system?
You bet on the Buccaneers?
14 tees, $1. I was going to win $14, a big one, right? My other 3 won. All the Bucks had to do is win. They could have lost by a point, I believe.
Randy, you never bet on the Bucks ever. It's a known thing. You don't bet on the Bucks. I bet on the Bucks. You know, when I bet on them, I laid down money, and it was for the very first Super Bowl in the All-Star Sap days. What was that, 2003? Two.
It was in 03. It was the 02 season.
Yeah, it was the 02 season. And I bet on it, and I decided I'm going to go really crazy with this bet. I'll put $50 down, and I'll win like 700. If we can win by between 25 and 27 points or something like that. Here's what, it was so impossible. My bet was so good. And then we exceeded what I was going to, where my parameter was. We won by more points than what I thought. And mine was crazy. That's how bad you don't bet on the Bucks. I even bet for them to win by this astronomical amount. They weren't even favored in that Super Bowl. Haven't been favored in either Super Bowl. The Raiders are heavily favored, I think, by 14 points. It was something crazy back then. And I ended up still losing because we won by this insane amount. We knew that they were going to win. I should have just done a win-loss. But there's a thing. It's been said before, you don't bet on the Buccaneers.
I won at that first Super Bowl.
You did? What'd you win?
Watching Shania Twain at halftime. Let's go hit our final break of the afternoon. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back. Do what?
I said, man, I feel like a woman.
Yeah.
When
when they came to Tampa that year, the drummer wore a Pittman jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Michael Pittman, I liked him. He was a beast, man.
A guy.
He had the beast body over everybody in that locker room. He was just ripped to the shreds. Yeah. Fast too. I know. Are you still friends with him?
Yeah,
that's
I talked
cool.
to him last week.
Oh, that's nice.
He played on my softball team while he was playing. So it was
cool.
Whatever, a Monday or Tuesday night. He's like, and I know this is going out on YouTube, and that's fine. He goes, don't tell anybody I'm playing. You know, I'm just going to come play and have a good time. And then he wore his Senior Bowl jersey that said Pittman on the back.
Oh, that's cool.
Pop fly to shortstop.
Is he living? Where's he living? Is he still in Arizona or is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he is out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Arizona. Pop fly to the shortstop, about 2, maybe 3 feet into the grass. Mike's on third. He tags and scores from third on a pop fly to the shortstop.
Red Dot Split End Salon at Pinellas Park.
Do what? What'd you say?
Are we having a technical issue? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're saying that's how fast he is?
Yeah. He had a ground ball to the third baseman. Third baseman, like double pumped through to first. He was standing on second.
Wow.
He
Well,
just-
I told you one of my favorite all-time plays from the Buccaneers was
3.
his safety.
Say goodbye to outdated equipment and welcome the latest smart technology into.
And he stopped that safety. It was the Carolina game. I think it was the one where Grammatica might have missed. I can't remember. It was so long ago, but we were having a tough time. But they blocked a kick, and the guy was going to run it back for safety, and nobody was running. And the Carolina
Or
Panther had
strongest. It's
such
about
a
those who have
we're coming
survived
back.
true lows,
We're coming back.
suffered,
had
faced
like a
demons
30
real
yard
ahead,
start on him,
and
and
are
he caught
fighting
it.
to come back
We're
against
coming
it
back.
all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong.
This is pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather, and you're talking sports with Randy, the best in the world, Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. So I was just explaining to you that I would tell, and he's not a guest. He was a guest last week. Now he's part of the program. Let's welcome back to the show for his segment. What up, H?
Hey!
Well, you know what? It's always good to get invited back. That's a good thing. It wasn't just a one-off last week, so I got the invitation back. I was relieved. I looked in the email. I said, son of a gun, Randy sent me a link. I'm good to go. All right. How are you?
Great. I learned a very valuable lesson on Sunday. You and I sit there, we talk. We always like, what do you think? Who do you think? And you make fun of me that I'll go with the visiting team because I win either way, right? If the Saints win, I win. If the Saints lose and the Bucks win, I win. So I was just telling Leslie, and I know I've told you I've gotten caught up in the Hard Rock thing, and I'm putting $1 in. Yep. I did a 4-team parlay. The other 3 teams hit. I made the mistake and went with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So here I lost by going with the Bucks.
And we've been sitting together in the media box for a number of years, and every time you've done that, it goes the other way. So you know what? And I even thought that when you said that, I'm like, oh my goodness, Randy's going the other way for a change, going with the Bucks. Yeah, it was an ugly Sunday for sure.
I want to ask you about your thoughts about Sunday, but
Yes.
here's my issue for tomorrow. I'm thinking going with the Bucks because if the Bucks lose, they might as well take the next 3 weeks off, just clean up their lockers and go home.
Oh, I've got. Listen, for all the fans that are listening out there, I got the scoop and the prediction for tomorrow night's game. So it's going to be going against the grain here. Did you want me to reveal that now, or do I want to do more of a pref? When I'll go through Sunday's game, and then we'll talk about the upcoming game. What I predict tomorrow night. Because I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it on tape. You're going to be able to show this what H said on Wednesday before the game on Thursday night, and we'll be able to document this. Because a lot of times you and I can talk, and we might say, "Well, remember what I said last week?" And do you really? And now it's on tape. So.
All right, let's touch base on Sunday. How disappointed were you? Give me your thoughts as a former collegiate football player.
Yeah. So bottom line is this: what a gut punch loss. This is one that really, really hurt, and it was evident in the post game, as we know, in the media room, the interviews, the tonality, the energy. A lot of things going on in the locker room. So I'll get to that here in a second. But bottom line, it was a game of frustration. It was a game of missed opportunities. And we knew we were in trouble, right? You didn't even sit down. You were just sitting down, right, with your sandwich, and all of a sudden, opening kickoff, 55 yards to the 45-yard line, and before we know it, we haven't even get settled in. We're down 7-0 to the Saints, and everybody's talking about what an easy victory. So we knew we were going to be in for a long ride with that special teams. That's going to be an issue. Now, on the same token, Mayfield came out okay, right? He was 8 for 8, play action. He was rolling. So we got right back in the game. We tied the game up. Things were looking good, but things started to crack. And there was a lot. I always say it's the little things that make a difference. It's the little things that come together that culminate to make a difference in the loss. And I'm going to start with Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, right? Who came out, the NFL, our superstar, came out hard in the beginning, and all of a sudden he's gotten lost here in the season. He had 2 drop passes, 2 key drop passes. One would have been a game-winning or potential game-winning touchdown. Right. And he's had 8 drop passes this year, and he's one of the top in the NFL. He's ranked 3rd in the NFL, if you don't know about drop passes. And I wanted to do some research before I came on today. I said, wait a minute. Is these drop passes, you go to his Ohio State collegiate career, he had a 3.89% drop rate in college. He was a leader in a low drop rate in efficiency. And now he's 3rd best in the NFL with the highest drop rate, looking at around 12% drop rate. So what's going on? What could have happened? And as a former tight end, as a former All-American tight end who caught a lot of touchdown passes.
Hold on. Let me just check in.
Go.
As a former receiving tight end.
Yeah, a receiving tight end. So I know what it's like to catch the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Good point. A receiving tight end. That's right. Yeah. I think what happened, and I wrote a book about stepping into your zone based on, principles from football that transcend into regular life. But I can tell you what happened with Egbuka. And it happened to me, I go back 100 years ago, when I had an audible line of scrimmage. We were on the 3-yard line. It was an audible, and they've blown coverage. What did I say in my mind? They called the audible. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm chomping. And what do I say to myself? Don't drop the ball. And in performance, whether it be business and sports, when you think of the image, don't drop the ball, what do you think of? Don't think of the pink elephant. What do you think of? Dropping the ball. Guess what? I dropped the ball. I can tell you, Emeka burnt that guy like toast. He gave an out fake, and he went to the seam. The guy was beat wide open. And I just wonder, and he had some challenges. I wonder if he had a thought, oh man, I'm wide open. Don't drop this one. Now, granted, it wasn't right here in his face. It wasn't threaded. He had to go out and do an extension, but this is the NFL. He's got to make that pass. That's an easy thing to turn around and to come up with 2 hands. So I don't know. It's a mental thing now. And now in the locker room, if you look at his post-game interview and the anguish, and I give credit to Mayfield, how he handled the post-game. He said, hey, guys, what we don't want to say to him is, Emeka, don't drop the ball, is the stupidest thing you could say to the guy. Like he did not intend to do it. And what Baker said, as the champion that he is, he said, hey, that ball's going to find you again. Be ready. You got this, right? See, it's about the positive reinforcement. So that's a whole issue that I'm concerned with on Emeka getting his, and Leslie, you're going like this. Yeah, it's the mind. It's the head game. It's that self-talk that's going on right now.
Yeah. It's the rookies. Also, it could be just the rookie stuff that you're not used to being able to handle mentally coming in. And you're this young guy, you especially when you come in balls to the wall and you're brilliant when you're starting off. So then little mistakes, which normally might be not a big of a deal if you're not doing so great in the beginning. But I'm sure he's putting so much more pressure on himself than everybody else is.
It's all self-imposed.
Yeah.
When you had that perfection, right? Because he's coming out of the chutes as one of this highly rated superstar with a great draft pick, and all of a sudden that pressure, that anguish, and it's all inside the head. And I know what that feels like from a perspective of getting inside and going from there. Yeah.
So I'm going to go on the opposite side then. Shocking to both of you, I'm sure.
Okay.
You can't have both.
Well, you got to hedge. You got to hedge it. Go. You got.
Oh yeah, that way I'll be right on both sides.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody was so, and I'm not saying we're not high on him because we definitely are. But what did everybody say early in the year? He's so mature. He's handling it like a professional. It's like he's been there. It's Ohio State.
Yes.
And now we're saying, the media is saying, fans are saying, well, it's a rookie thing. It's a this thing. It's a that thing. It wasn't a rookie thing week 5, week 6 when he was dominating player of the week, player of the month, player of the universe. So we can't have both. He just needs to, and he will, snap out of whatever the issue
Yeah.
is.
I also think
Point noted real quick.
Okay.
Point noted, Les, real quick. 9 targets on him. Mayfield, 9 targets on him. 2 receptions for like 15 yards.
Yeah.
9 targets.
Right.
Something's going on. And there was,
I think maybe also it's kind of like when a new quarterback comes in for the first year, maybe they're not that good, but they're amazing their first year because the other side doesn't really know. They don't have the experience to watch them. They don't have as much tape because college tape is a lot different from NFL tape. So I'm thinking maybe, now that we're a little bit, towards the end of the season, they're figuring out the corners, the defensive backs are kind of figuring him out a little bit more. And so he's going to have to adjust and change things up a little bit because now they've got more of his number versus him coming in from the get-go so strong.
Point noted, and then when you had on the same token, you have Godwin that's picking up some slack. Chris is looking like his old self, sure-handed, key ability to when Baker's moving to make adjustments, find the dead area, and great hands. So that should give him some relief. But you're right. The reality is that they can find out what way to defend him, and this is the NFL, and they're going to find some schemes to make it happen. So The other thing that I want to mention real quick, and I'm trying to manage the time here. I can't throw a timeout out. Tez Johnson, that key interception that Baker threw again, and I didn't ask Baker because I was just that was a gloomy. It was a gloomy media room.
Yeah.
So when he threw that. It looked like Tez gave up on it was a dig route. It looks like he gave up on it. The quarterback, the DB did a great job on coverage, was manhandling him, kind of stuffed him, and he didn't continue on to the next window. It looked like he just stopped and gave up. The DB continued up. So Baker already threw the ball. Baker's looking, dig route. I'm going to throw it to the window, and that's where he's got to meet Tez. And who was there? The DB, and Tez looked like it stopped. So I'm just wondering what happened, the details there. That's just an inexcusable, because I don't think Baker's throwing it to that window. It's where he's supposed to be. So those are inexcusable routes.
As well as we only got 2.5 minutes left.
Yes.
The ghost of Devin White, number 45, how do you not have that interception? Now, again, it doesn't necessarily mean, but they could have, they would have been 30-some yards closer and possible. But before we run out of time, give me your take on tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night is this. And the Falcons are going through some adversity. Obviously, you look at the record or whatever. I think their record is 4-9 or something. They got spanked by Seattle. They're coming off a 37-9 beating. They're dealing with some injuries right now. But the bottom line is this. I'm having flashbacks. I'm having nightmares. Kirk Cousins is the quarterback. And if you remember 2 games last year, Cousins threw on the Bucs 8 TDs, over 800 passing yards, a 73% completion rate. So this guy can make his whole season here tomorrow night with an incredible game. And I predict Kirk Cousins is going to be on, and he's going to put up some numbers. And I think if Kyle Pitts, the tight end, any good tight end in the league is able to dominate the middle and control the middle of the field. And he's done that. He's hurt the Bucs. So I think he's going to have a big game. He's coming off a knee injury. Now, the other guy, London, let me just try to think. Drake London on the outside, he hasn't played the last 3 weeks. He's their stud receiver on the outside. So whether he's going to be in play for tomorrow night, I'm not sure. But then you got to deal with Bijan Robinson at running back. 1,000 rushing yards and 600 receiving yards. He's a dual threat. So you got some things coming at you. And the Bucs had the Falcons have the 3rd ranked sack leading team on defense. So they're going to get some of their guys who are healthy, and the Bucs are favored by 4.5. So my friend, I'm taking up my app here, and I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons -4.5 for tomorrow night. And I'm looking for Cousins. He's going to have a big night. I don't want to see it. I hope I'm on the other side of that. I hope it doesn't happen, but I just think there's a lot of things going in the wrong direction right now for the Bucs, unfortunately.
So in other words, you win no matter what tomorrow.
That's right. So we got it covered on both sides.
You learn from the best. H, thank you very much for your time. First ice cream float on me tomorrow night.
Yeah, you got it.
Take
See you
care.
guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And that's H, now involved. You can catch him at WMOR In the Zone is his Saturday TV show. Good stuff. Leslie, appreciate the time. We are out, and we'll talk later today.